We will be more mindful.
Mindful.
We'll try.
Demure.
Demure.
Yeah. Welcome to the Panle Podcast, the Ladies Panle Podcast. I'm gonna have when I do the thing, I'm gonna have the panel pop, but I'm gonna have it in like red graffiti ladies. How about that?
Perfect.
Or maybe pink. Maybe pink.
Nah.
Pink, red, whatever you want.
Yeah, I love pink.
Red.
Just red.
Red.
Are you blood? Gangbanging. How you ladies doing tonight?
Great.
Wonderful.
Lovely.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, like I said, welcome to the Panle Podcast. I am your host, Will. Before you do anything, please hit that subscription button and like this video. Like it, love it, hate it. Give us feedback by commenting below. And as always, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Snapchat. That's Panle spelled NLE like Choppa, the Panle Network. This is your panel. This is your network. Awesome. How's you guys week going?
It's going pretty good.
It's moving.
I feel like you guys go through a lot for like women. Just every day is like a new adventure.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too many stories.
We're on a 30 to 31 day cycle.
We give the polite answers. It's going. It's
Yesterday
fine.
was great.
What was great about
Today
yesterday?
was not as great.
That's okay.
It was
That's
just
okay.
just was a good day. Had a lot of fun.
No
and
worries.
And
and
it's
then
fun.
yeah.
Move your mic closer to your mouth because you move your head. You're gonna be moving your head the most out of everybody. All right, Erica. It's about this
Erica.
close. Erica. We'll go ahead and introduce you ladies. Let me make sure I got my drops good. We'll start with you, ma'am.
La la.
All right.
Erica.
I feel like I want a more hip hop, like R&B.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We'll work on
La 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 la, nigga.
La, la,
Oh yeah, wait till I get my money right. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's it.
I will change. it. I tried to be cutesy. I tried to
Yeah.
be demure.
No.
We will change it to some gangster
I'm
shit.
not cutesy anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't hit.
That's not me.
All right. Cool.
And who am I?
Yes.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Do I have to hold it? Damn, that's short. I need to make that a little
It's
longer
okay.
too. We'll work on your drops. We'll work on that. All right, we'll get right into it. Got some cool topics here for you guys today. We'll start with some entertainment news. Before we just real quick, and we don't have to stay here. But did you guys see any of the? I know I sent it in the group chat. Did you guys see any of the Ray J shit?
I watched some of it, yeah. Or a good chunk of it, I should say.
Okay.
Sad.
Well, okay. So we'll start from the beginning. So
Wait, real quick. Can the viewers tell us if a certain someone got knocked out or not?
oh, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're sending like right now. Everybody in the chat, they're sending like hearts and stuff. So it's a very girly chat
I love
right
that.
now. Yeah, it's awesome.
But nothing. Let us
cute.
know in the
Yeah,
comments.
let us know if Jake Paul got knocked out.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if Tyson wore his panties to the
I hope
actual
so.
fight. That was weird. That was
No,
different.
it was awesome.
Seeing Mike Tyson in some black panties wasn't what was on my agenda
Your
for the
bingo
day.
card.
Nope, it was not on my bingo card.
It was on mine.
That's great. I love that for you. So going to Ray J. So the first thing we hear is Ray J pretty much warned a pastor that he did an interview with that if he posts the interview that they did, he will snatch him off the pulpit, and openly threatened him on Instagram. Mind you, Ray J's been in all types of media news lately, talking about Diddy, reporting on things like people have told him to report on things. Last week, Ray J was also in the news because he almost got beat up by Diddy's sons. He's been all over the news in different places for Lord knows why. And then he threatens a pastor, and then he goes back on social media and apologizes and offers to go to the church and pray with him. It just seems, and then the actual interview does air, and in the interview he's talking about how he feels suicidal and how he feels like people are out to get him and how he feels like people are going to kill him, and it seems like he's being like a pawn being used. Which side feels like does it feel real, or does this all seem clout chasey and manufactured?
So I feel like it's a kind of a little bit of both, because I feel like there's always stuff going on behind the scenes that we never know about, we don't know about, especially like with all the Illuminati and all that stuff. And, people not knowing the impact or the things that are getting pushed on them, like celebrities, artists, whatever, from people in the background. But at the same time, like if you give it a couple weeks or a month, he's going to be promoting something else, or he's going to be on
Right.
something else. Just like with the halftime show with Lil Wayne, and him doing that whole little like video where he was sobbing and stuff and didn't get, or apologizing, whatever, about the halftime. Isn't he like on a show now? He's getting his own.
He's getting an opportunity with the NFL.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say it was a Dancing
Like,
with the
there's
Stars.
always-
No.
Yeah, I think that takes a
It's
major
NFL related. Like,
Okay.
you got a show now.
Yeah.
After you did that whole
Which was funny because
performance.
in the comments they were like basically the NFL said, "Here, nigga, damn." Like,
And that could have been it too. That definitely could have been it too. But like, there's always alternative motives like behind the scenes that we don't know until it actually happens.
so you don't feel like he was really suicidal? You feel like this is all promotion?
I think it could be real. I
Well,
believe in the
yeah.
Illuminati. So.
I mean, with celebrities and the pressure that they're always constantly under, and the limelight they're always under, like you never really know, how much that they're feeling, with all emotions. But at the same time, that there's always an alternative motive too. At the same time, so you never really know.
Is Ray J on drugs?
I don't know.
I don't
is
keep
he?
up with him like that.
Me either.
I really don't keep up with him.
I
like
mean, whatever you gotta do.
It was funny because in the interview he was talking to the pastor, and he was like, I feel like I was like in a dominatrix act. He was like, "Is dominatrix a sin?" And the pastor was like, "Nah, go ahead."
that. Continue.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I was like, "Wait a minute, I don't think that's holy."
I mean, I believe in cults, and I believe that you can be in a really crazy situation. So I just feel like the truth always tells itself. Like you said, it'll all come out if something happens. I hope it's not real because that's sad.
Yeah, I guess thoughts and prayers for Ray J.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers.
Did you guys hear about the gentleman who faked his death and got away from his family? Okay, so there was a gentleman, I believe in Wisconsin. Okay, he was on a fishing expedition, and they found the boat, and they found things, but they didn't find him. So then they do this investigation because his family believes he's dead. His wife and his kids believe that daddy's dead.
How many kids does he have?
I believe 2.
Okay.
And then they see that his passport has been used in Europe, and that he changed his
When was this?
recent, like this past week.
Okay.
And that
Understood.
his passport was used in Europe, and he had connections to a woman in Europe. He did leave an insurance plan, like a death insurance. He changed it. He changed his insurance to like a $350,000 plan. And then also basically the police are pleading for him to come home because you have a wife. I don't think is that legal?
Oh,
I hope not.
tough one. Like that's.
Why
I
would you
can't
do
see that you faking your own death.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like especially when it comes to insurance, I can't see that as being legal at all. But like, why? Why would you go through all those depths?
I can
fake
give
your
you
death.
I can give you one reason.
But I mean, that's a
Shame.
lot. That's a lot, and there's a lot on the line, especially if you get caught, because you're gonna get caught if you.
They said he last texted his wife August 11th, and he said that he was turning his kayak around and headed to the shore soon. That was the last she heard of him. And then they went out and they searched and they couldn't find anything. And then he said investigators discovered his name was checked in Canada. And then they said that he communicated with a woman from Uzbekistan. And he cleared his browser before he left. He cleared his accounts. Yeah.
But if you're not like, gonna use a whole different type of.
It seems like it's a love story. It
yeah,
feels.
something's happening. Jaws on the floor. I need more context.
You guys never thought about faking your death and leaving your family?
No.
No, but
Because fuck.
also,
Okay, so let me
I don't
put
want
this
to
out
leave
there.
my family, but I want to leave. You know?
What if he left his family so much money? Like if he really faked his death, they got $350,000 and they were set, right? Is he wrong for leaving his family?
But like, you don't get a fake passport and a fake identity. You're using your same shit. Why did
Yeah.
it still be
That's what I'm
tracked?
saying. Why did you bring? Why
That
didn't you bring your
doesn't- yeah.
family?
Because you want to get away from them.
You know you're gonna get caught if you're still using your same identity.
Honestly, I'm
to
just
do
thankful he
stuff.
didn't kill him at this. I feel like that's what husbands do. They, when they're like tired of their family, they just murder them. And so
White husbands.
yeah, let's clarify.
Black husbands leave. This was a very
That's what
black
I'm
husband
saying.
move.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you for not murdering them. And you just left quietly. And did he leave them money?
He had an
gonna say,
insurance
He
policy.
tried to.
They said he's somewhere in Eastern Europe.
Have fun.
But if they still prove he's alive, do they really get the insurance money?
Yeah. So then he just.
They haven't proved he's alive yet.
It's like, now this is awkward and you're stuck with me.
I mean, but those are extreme measures. Like,
Yeah.
extreme measures.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Kind of.
That's what
You
I'm
would-
saying. I need context.
I was thinking about it.
You were thinking about.
I mean, it's not that bad. He just bounced. He wasn't gonna leave him with some bread. No.
It's not like he left.
But
a
the trauma, the emotions, the
start with
pain.
the-
Like, you got kids.
Yeah.
They think their father is dead.
That's
Fuck
where
them
I would,
kids. See, that's what.
I would just
I understand.
die with a lie. They would just
Well-
think daddy was dead that whole time.
What were you gonna say, Erica?
It's not like he left a fake suicide note, and I guess his family claiming his death and collecting on life insurance. He's not
Okay,
How is
financially,
that going to
yeah.
come on him unless they can prove that he was intentionally faking his death? If he just left,
The clearing of the browser and deleting the email and doing all
It
that.
was planned.
It was
for
planned. It was
sure.
premeditated. But
Obviously.
maybe he didn't want to pay child support,
oof.
or for a divorce lawyer.
Have you guys ever
Feel
like?
that.
Have you guys ever like been in a weird situation and then just like ducked it, just like dipped?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Same time.
Story time.
Yes.
Go. I need at least one story.
You go first.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Well, I don't typically do this, but this certain situation, I'm going to give you guys some details, some context here. Met this person within 2 hours of meeting them. They were laying it out really thick, like, you're perfect, and
Love bombing.
love bombing
Oh
for
my God.
sure. And, I'm just like, thank you. And I appreciate that. But just so you know, I'm not interested. I think you're cool. I'm sorry.
Hell yeah.
I'm not trying to date you. And I'm just trying to make friends, right? Very plainly stated. Well, I guess there's so many guys that think that they're just going to change your mind. It happens so often. You tell them one thing and they're like, okay, I'm cool with being friends.
And then they try to be more than friends.
No, they're not. They're lying. But this person went as far to say, I believe in love at first sight. And
Oh God.
I don't get that.
God bless him.
to me, it was like he went through 5 stages of grief
Was he
within 2 hours.
What did
same
you
age
do?
as you, younger than you, older than you?
Older.
Older. Okay.
What did you do? You just dipped?
Well, so he has my number, which maybe that's bad on my part for not being interested in the way that I knew he was interested, but still giving him my number. But I didn't really see any harm in it because My solution is just not to answer. So to answer your question, yes,
So you
I'm
go, you
dodging.
go.
You're being polite and then
Okay.
being rude.
I-
Polite
yeah.
then rude.
Have you ever
Dodging.
ghosted someone like while they were there with you? Like one time I was at a bar. One
Yeah.
time, yeah.
Wait, tell me. I've never experienced that.
Oh, it was really awkward because they found me again later and came up to me and called me out.
Did you go there? Did you go there with them?
No.
Okay. No, this I drove all the way out to LaPorte and picked this girl up and took her to a local bar in LaPorte and we were supposed to hang out. And something happened. It was
How far was the drive for you?
That's not that bad.
She want to know how far I'll drive for some pussy.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It was a good. Do you want to know the longest I've driven for some pussy? Or
No,
do
I
you
just
know
want to know that one.
was?
Yeah.
It was an hour
Oh my god.
LaPorte's not an
Okay.
hour from here.
from where I was.
Oh.
Yeah, at the
Okay.
time.
So
yeah.
an hour took
So
you.
it was an hour.
What'd you do?
Basically, she was just being wild at the bar and like ordering a whole bunch of drinks that I didn't ask for, and I wasn't balling on anything back then. Like it was tight. Gas
Was she
was just
expecting you to pay for it?
yes.
Oh,
100%. She started ordering shit.
So-
I was like, "Can you just buy me and my friends drinks?" And I'm like, "What?"
Did you
So I was
say-
like, "Oh, I think you know what? I think I left my wallet." She ordered a whole bunch of drinks, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I think I left my wallet in my car,"
and then you left.
and I left.
I mean, good for you. She was walking all over you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't doing that.
Yeah, she's got to buy
That
her
was
own
too much.
drinks.
Deuces. Deuces.
Like for you to be out and was it considered a date?
And not like so much a date, just like, hey, let's go hang out. And we'd hung out
Okay.
before. It was cool.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
for her
that's not-
to expect you to buy
Yeah,
her
her and her friends.
friends drink, expect it.
Yeah.
Like if you offer it, that's a whole different story.
Okay,
But-
so just to clear the air, if let's say we're together, we go out, you want your friend to come out too, and your friend orders food or drinks or whatever, am I supposed to pay for your friend too?
I don't think so.
Not unless you got it like that.
Yeah, unless you wanna. Unless you
Nah, you look like
offer.
you're trying to say you want to say
No,
something.
yeah, it's different. Like it's not expected, but
If you
it's
got.
kind of gonna be like a pause to see if you do it at first, I guess.
Yeah.
What happens if I,
I think
don't?
women would enjoy you paying for their
Everybody?
friends.
Why?
Well, not everybody, but I mean, it depends on how many people are there and
Just one.
everything.
Why do I have to pay for your friend if she ain't my
You
girl?
don't have to,
Okay,
but
Am I
it
being-
would be
Chivalry?
sexy if you did.
Chivalry, yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
you don't
expected,
have
but if
to.
you were to
but if
do
you
that,
were, it's like, damn.
yeah,
Danny can pay for my friends too. That's it. But I'm not like asking you, like, yeah,
Right.
you didn't pay for my friends.
She said it. She said it.
ladies, have you gone out with a girlfriend and her man, and he's paid for your food or drinks?
Yep.
It's nice. It's like, wow,
it's
you really
not-
don't
yeah.
have to do that, you know? You do the little back and forth, and then they insist, and then
It's not
it's
even that,
really,
like,
it is a really nice thing to do.
It's
I
more of a
think, in
situation where
general.
we're at a bar or whatever, and like what guys that we're at, and it might even be like a boyfriend of one of my girlfriends, like just one of the other guys that are out, and they'll just buy the drinks for everybody that's with us, guys and girls. And sometimes the girls will do it too, but it's just more frequently the guys that end up doing it. And it's appreciated. It's not expected, but it happens.
Then
and
you
it's
kind of
like-
just like always remember them for that.
Yeah.
You
How do
know?
you- how do you
Like,
girls
damn,
feel
he picked
about-
up my tab?
How do you girls feel about like paying for your man shit? Like you're in a relationship, do you guys go back and forth, or how does that work for you guys?
I've been married, so I don't feel like my answers are relevant because
You and that mic are fighting right now, Erica.
I told you I wanted to fight today.
what Britt, what do you
Mike
think?
Tyson on it. So
Just
what?
you guys are dating, like your boyfriend, girlfriend.
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
We don't have joint accounts. How do you guys feel about the
I
back
think
and
that
forth?
just depends on the.
It's fine, Erica. It's fine.
that's the
That's like
base, the base.
situational. Like if I got it again, if I got it like that, sure, but I don't. So
Do you guys feel the man should pay every single time?
no, I feel like women also are very thoughtful and like do things in a way that men don't really understand. They're like buying things for them or I don't know, taking care of them. So we do things in other ways that don't pertain to like spending money.
I feel like it's different with every person and expectation and love language. So I kind of do, if I'm dating somebody, especially in the early on stages, I'm sorry, but I do expect them to pay for stuff. But my love language is also buying and giving stuff. So when I figure out what you like, what you need, what you want, and I'm in a situation or in a place where I can provide that for you, I'm gonna do it.
Same.
So,
And
okay,
booking vacations and experiences and doing things together.
Not that kind of money.
How do you feel, Erica?
I have a different perspective now than I used to have
Okay. Break it down.
because in a previous relationship I had, it was very 50-50. And when I was financially a little bit better off because
Stable.
no, but I just had more spending
In
money.
abundance.
I had less bills than this person. So we didn't go out to eat hardly ever, really. And that's one thing about me now that I realize is different is I love going out. I like talking to people, seeing people,
Same.
experiences and having fun and going out. And I've had a guy insist on paying for every single drink I order. And I'm not even I don't even have to order the drink because he's on it. Do you want a drink? What do you want? I'm going to go get it. And he pays. And on top of that, there's guys out there that will just send you money. They will send you money for groceries. Like, and I'm not talking about a random guy. I'm talking about like, so to answer your question, do I think it's necessary? No.
But it's
Because
convenient.
it's sweet. It's nice. I think that it is helpful coming. It does show that they are thinking about you and wanting to take care of you, and that is
Considerate.
attractive. That is
How
attractive.
important? How important is it for you as women to have that level of independence? How important is your
Financial independence?
both?
or-
Just to be seen as an independent woman.
Financially independent, it's not important because I'm not financially independent.
Were you waiting for it, Britt? Were you waiting for it? It's like,
surviving.
pay my bills.
I don't want you to pay my bills, but understand that, like,
I do.
I want to experience life. I want to experience things. I want to go out and do things, and us to enjoy life together, especially on dates or whatever. But like, as much as I want it, I can't pay for it all. So please
Right.
help me,
Yeah.
or take the initiative and pay for it. But at this point, I am a single mother, and I am an independent woman. Like, I'm doing everything on my own at this point, in my life. So yes, please appreciate that, respect that, understand that.
Assist.
And shout out
yes.
to independent single mothers.
Yes. I don't want to be that way. I am that way. I would love to be more in my feminine era and take a back row because my brain and my body is exhausted. But it's not just about me, so it's got to keep moving.
I'm so glad you guys brought single mothers up. So earlier this week, Kim Kardashian, it was all over social media that she was talking about the fact that she is a single mother and that she's raising all 4 of her kids on her own. Well, okay, so
I'm a Kim K hater. So
this is understood.
I think this is not a conversation for me.
That's
No,
okay.
I'm joking.
Okay,
I'm
how do
joking.
you guys feel about it coming from her?
I don't respect it from celebrities because they have the financial means
And
and
she-
they do have all the assistance and
She even
everything
tried to
behind
say,
them.
like, even though I have all of that, I'm still raising them alone. It's like, okay, just say Kanye isn't around. That's all you have to say.
But here's the thing, like, she pushed him away.
Sure, but just say that instead of saying I'm raising them alone. No, you're not.
I hear you.
Just say Kanye's not in their life.
Right.
But she won't say that.
But I'm sure he's giving her some type of financial assistance to help. And she has all the help. She has the maid, the cook, the cleaner, all, the nanny, all that to help her. She's not alone. Like, as much as her family are around in all her videos and everything like that, she has that family there too who might help, whenever they're around in the same household with them that a lot of people don't get. Like my family, they're close, but they're not close. I live too far. We're not with each other on a daily basis, weekly basis, where like I can take a breather because my brother's here and they can watch my kids for a second while we're in the same household. It's not the same. And financially, obviously, yeah, that's a whole different spectrum. So I don't respect them when they say something like that because it's not the same as a woman on any other
Like
scale.
the regular everyday single
Yeah.
mom.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
why
It's not the same.
people were saying like say that on a 60K
Exactly.
a year salary.
Right.
But that's why I
not
say
the
I
same.
feel like because she even acknowledged that. She's like, even with all the help that I get with nannies and I'm still raising them
nannies
alone.
plural.
Yeah, nannies.
Yeah,
So
plural.
that's what I'm saying. Like she's really just trying to say Kanye isn't there without blatantly saying it.
So the big part that sucks is that if he's not there, he doesn't have that fatherly impact on them that they
Yeah.
need in
Yes.
their lives, just for their mental and emotional.
I
Okay,
feel,
no,
and
but-
I feel her.
I-
I feel more. I feel for her more than if she were to just say that than saying she doesn't have anybody.
Yes.
Just say you don't have a father figure for your children.
I will contest that he is still a presence because
Good.
I'm a father that lives 2,000 miles away from my daughter, and I still have a presence in her life. In financially, she just hit me up today because she knows when her allowance is coming, and she lets me know. But I still have a presence and influence in her life. I go out and go see her, things like that. So I understand where he is, where she's coming from that end, but also understand what it means when you do have help. So just because he's not physically there doesn't mean he doesn't have presence in the kids' lives, or influence, things like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I
Yeah.
think she's trying to say that,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't so
but
much.
she
think it's
said
fair.
it in a very, what's the word?
She didn't read the room.
Yeah.
Erica, how do you feel?
I'm surprised that she said that. She's so much media training. I think there was intention behind her saying that in the media. So now I don't follow the Kardashians.
Do you guys ever use the podcast to send out a message? I do.
Oh, you got enemies?
I mean,
I have people that I like to, like, every once in a while, like the girl that I was in a relationship with. I let her know how much I love and care for her through the pod. So
Oh, that's nice.
I just speak my truth.
If anything,
In
I
my
think
opinion.
I'm careful. I'm careful that about certain things
Yeah,
that I talk
same.
about,
yeah,
and I leave
sit on
out
my hands.
specific details so that, God forbid, if whoever I'm talking about, which I mean, I'm not saying that they will see it. I'm not saying that they won't see it, but if they do, it gives me a little bit of a safety net to where I could deny.
I pander like a motherfucker.
So do you think Kim was sending a message to Kanye by saying that? Is
I
that
think
what you're
so.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think there's a big difference between co-parenting. So there's either equal amount between father and mother, or like a
Yeah.
set schedule with the kids between each parent, and somebody having full custody. And
because he's in Japan right now. He's in Japan. He's doing performances. I believe it's Japan. He's in Japan doing performances and different things like that. He's got his wife there with him.
I thought they got a divorce. or
No,
something.
they're together. They're still together.
Oh,
Now it's
okay.
just.
but what's his parenting schedule with his kids though?
I mean, right now he's an absentee, but if he's an
Then
artist,
that makes a big difference with
If he's
the
a
impact.
world renowned artist and he goes on tour, when an artist goes on tour, they're gone for 70% of the year. You can't. Yeah, I'll fly back and different things like that. Because you don't know if he's flying back intermediately, but it is to be expected when you get involved with a world renowned artist that he
You
will
keep
go
saying
on
world
tour.
renowned.
Yes, because Kanye West.
Are you a Kanye fan?
Kanye West is.
I went to a concert, so I am
I like
a
his
fan.
music.
I ate a banana last week.
I like his music.
Yeah, well,
But-
when you get involved, it's just like dating somebody in the NFL.
Okay, wait.
It's just like dating
you
someone
finished?
in a
Are you done?
no,
Are
I'm
you
not. I'm not
finished?
finished. It's just like dating someone in a that plays sports. You do understand that person has to travel for work. It could be some play that goes along with that, but he is on tour right now in a different country, so I don't think he's going to be over there forever. If he does, different story. If he is over there forever, way different story. But if
Okay,
he's,
but when it comes to them artists, celebrities, athletes, they have the financial means, and they're not playing games every single day.
Right.
You can send your children out to you. You can come back to your children, which need be.
From Japan?
Yes. These are your children, and these are their lives and your lives and your relationship with them.
I think he's only been gone a month and a half, 2 months.
I don't care. Like,
I think
if you're supposed to be involved in your children's life and vice versa, you know, they need you in your life.
I mean, if you have the means,
You have
of
the
course.
financial means. There's no excuse. No excuse.
I mean,
I think they just fucked up with like they're both super busy people, and then realized like I think she even mentioned like he wants to be everywhere and she wants to not be everywhere.
And you gotta give him some credit. He bought a house. He bought 2 houses in the same neighborhood to be around his kids, and she dubbed him. She didn't allow him to be around his kids the way he wanted to, and he literally bought a house 2 houses down, and then he bought the house next door and tore it down.
Was he mentally ill though? Like, why did she not let him?
There was always more to the story.
There's a lot more there, and it was it's one of those Illuminati weird things where you know there were people playing games on both ends, and there's I think we're looking at 2 guilty parties here, but there's more to that.
On top of that, like you can't think about just the kids when it comes to that, because I thought about scenarios since I've separated with my kid's dad. Like, oh, like it would be so nice if we could be in the same apartment complex, and like my kids can like maneuver between us too. I don't want him knowing my life. I don't know. I don't want him knowing what I'm going through.
I'm gonna tell you like this.
I don't want him to know.
I played that game before, live in the same apartment complex. I did that with my daughter's mom, and that's a really, really fun way to get your feelings hurt.
Yes, yes, exactly.
You watch another.
Exactly.
No, you mean not to say that my daughter's mom was out there, but she had another boy. I found out she had another boyfriend because I saw him go.
Exactly.
Like,
humbled you real quick.
Hey, how you doing?
So
hey,
as
we're
much-
walking to the same place.
As much as you want like the other parent to be in your child's life and to be that close, I don't want this person knowing my business. I don't want them knowing my ins and outs. If you bought a house right next door to me, a couple houses down, that's too close. Like you're gonna see who's coming in and out.
That is very true.
Like ring cameras, you're gonna see everything. And no, that's conversations we're gonna have because
it is very
we are not together anymore.
Yeah,
you are just as close for our children. So if it ain't about my children, our children, don't fucking talk to me. Don't bring this up. No, this is not a conversation we are having.
I just want to make sure that.
And that could be where she's coming from. Sorry.
No, you're good. I just want to make sure he did give an effort, I believe. Mm-hmm. Maybe the moves he made were bad, but the intentions were probably good.
Pete Davidson. Do we not remember that?
I forgot.
Yeah. Ugh, what a time.
Happened?
What a time.
Why'd they break up? We don't know.
Because he looks like he's dying.
Because he was still.
And I never understood that in the first place, but okay.
She has a
He
type.
strikes me as a love bomber.
She has a type.
So can a type or what's the type?
Yeah, I know. What's the correlation?
Pete Davidson, Kanye West,
Mentally ill?
Ray J, Reggie Bush.
Trauma bonding?
No, they're all known to be like super well endowed. So like super, like unusually.
Got it.
And she has a type.
Got it. Didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Good to know.
That was a classy way to say that.
Yeah.
How old was he compared to her?
He was younger. I think he was in his 30s.
And she's 40?
Pushing 50.
Kim Kardashian's pushing 50?
Really?
Stop. I don't believe you. She's probably like 43.
It's the Botox.
Yeah.
She's 44.
44. Okay.
Yeah, so. But she just, I mean, I've seen 44-year-olds. She's an old 44. She's been through some shit. But anyway.
Can Lala talk about her experiences?
With men
With
and
the
dating
men
and all that. So I
want to hear it.
I haven't been out too much socially where like I can just meet a lot of people and just like see things flowing naturally, except for like once recently. But so most of it has still been on the dating app that I've been on. And I kind of been inconsistently on it. And I have matches and anywhere from like 28 to like 50 years old. But most of the matches that have the conversation flowing and actually dates going on and things pursuing have been way younger than me. So they've been like, one thing I'm going to say is the one thing men have been lying about, and it's not even mostly the height that we've spoke on before. It's been their age. It's been their age.
Okay, yeah.
It's been their age. Oh. So it's been as young as 29, which I didn't expect, because when I started talking to them, their profile didn't say 29. They said like 31, 32.
So can I tell a story about
up to like 32? And that's what it's all been. Younger guys.
Can I tell you a story about how I got absolutely terrified of dating apps? Like anxious? Okay. So are you in the group? Like, are we dating the same guy? Okay.
Yes.
So on a dating app, this guy said, you said lying about his age. I didn't even, and you don't even think about this because like you're not lying about your age.
Like why?
So
What's the
yes.
point?
So this guy was lying about his age. Said he was much older. I can't remember, like 26 or something. And so okay, cool, not much younger than me. And then I see on the "Are you dating the same guy" Facebook, they posted him and said that he was 17 years old.
Oh my God.
And that he was tricking women. And I just immediately like
7.
Yes.
That's wild.
And I was like, what
He's
you're
the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. 17?
No,
Oh my God.
That's
You're the GOAT, my guy.
illegal.
That is
You're the GOAT. That is
Like,
wild.
and then
Why
it
did
got
I
me
think of that?
thinking. Yeah, and then it got me thinking, like,
Well, it's
would
not
I have gotten
illegal.
in trouble?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But like my first
But
date would
you
be like,
tricked
let's go
me.
to a bar, let's go to a lounge. You
True.
can go to
Well,
that shit.
I mean, if he's
True.
17 and then you see him in person,
Yeah, and I didn't even like thankfully, I didn't even get there.
point.
because you can doctor
Yeah.
photos, but you can't doctor
I'm
personality.
so
and,
glad
Yeah,
I didn't.
yeah.
And I kind of was like, this guy's like super immature, but it's 17.
That is super young.
So
That's,
yeah.
You're high school still. You're high school.
And there
But,
was like
like-
this whole thing about like how the mom got involved and like it was wild.
I'm glad you didn't get.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's good karma for
Wait, so did you say you met him
No,
in person?
it was just, like, matched and,
you
like,
found out he was
messaging.
lying through the
from
page.
the
So you never
Facebook
met
page.
him.
No.
Have you ever been catfished? Where you showed up and
I have. Yeah.
believe that?
Yeah. I've
Like
been,
catfish in what way?
just to, okay. I respect women of all sizes, ages, everything, right? She sent me a photo from that I thought was recent. It ended up being from like 100 pounds ago,
Okay.
which is fine. We still kicked it, but I was not like I was just like, why you gotta? How you know I ain't like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How you know I ain't just like how you are? You know what I'm saying? Because
Why you feel the need to lie?
right
That's-
now, have I told lies? Yes. I the one time that I did lie is when I said I'm 5'11" and a half. In shoes, I'm 6 foot. With
And
the,
with your
the
hair.
hair and the shoes,
You're 6'2".
I'm fucking 6 foot. I'm a big dude. So I said 6 foot. Me and Brittany swiped.
That was the
And-
second lie I've read.
Right.
that I've caught people,
Yeah.
but I haven't exposed.
Yeah.
And
The
she'll
height
never
for
let me
that.
live it down. That
Like you can't lie about that shit.
No,
Yeah.
like once I
You
see you,
can't.
you
like-
weren't
Yeah.
disappointed.
but that's like an awkward conversation to have. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, and she also got
liar.
the towel over the shoulder. Loved it.
The fucking
Loved it.
I've been lied to
chicken.
about height.
Oh yeah, there was.
I don't
well,
get it.
It's the one and only time that I ever met someone.
So
off
is that
a
considered
dating app.
catfishing?
And on his
If you lie about
page,
your height?
I think so. He said it was 5'11",
And what was he?
and I'm pretty short. So 5'11", I don't
How tall are you?
5'4.5".
Are you 5'6"?
I'm 5'6".
I show up and I could eat a bowl of soup off of this man's head.
That's crazy.
Not off his head.
Bowl of soup off his head is crazy.
I was taken
Aback.
aback.
Did
And
you
I
say,
never
oh,
saw him
didn't
again."
see you there.
Did you know they have whole clothing lines for men under 5'10"?
Well, what's worse is I was sitting down, and then he showed up, and I stood up to give him a hug.
Okay,
Okay, we had been talking, and
Wait, so this is like you're out and you're sitting down.
yeah, I invited him out.
Yes.
where I was.
Oh, Oh, and you were
So wait,
sitting
how
down
did you
and
know-
he was
How
standing.
did you know? Like, it wasn't a dating app then, obviously, right? Because you don't really do dating apps.
No, this was when I was
But how did you know how
this
he
was 21.
was? Like, how did you know?
Like you were sitting
was
down and you
lying.
saw
He
him and you
had-
were like, come here. And then he sat down
no.
and then you got up.
So what I was saying is, it's the one and only time I ever used a dating app and met someone off a dating app.
Got it.
Because
And
we
he
had
just
matched.
showed up.
We had matched. We'd been talking, and he was asking, "Can we hang out?" And so I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings with a girlfriend, and I told him I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings with my girlfriend. We're gonna have a couple drinks and grab some food. You're welcome to come. I'd love to see you in person and meet you. Like, we're just hanging out, no pressure. And then he showed up.
I don't know if you guys know this, but men are attracted to women who are taller than them.
Yeah.
I not dated, but I had
We're not.
I had a friend who was 6'3", 6'4", and she had to bend over to like hug me. I loved it.
That's crazy.
Is
I
that like
loved it.
a mommy?
But I've met.
No, it's not a mommy complex or anything like that. It's just like you tall drink. Like Cameron Brink is about, I think she's 6'6". She plays for the Sparks.
Okay. And you just want her to
Oh my God.
just like pick you up and sit.
She's just like a tall glass of milk.
Oh no, I get it. I
Yeah.
get like the fantasy.
It's not even that. It's just like, I don't care.
No, like
I'll be somebody's short king.
Like, I haven't dated, but like I was talking to, not even talking to somebody, but like I'm taller
Damn, he
than
didn't
them.
even make it there. We can't.
I don't know how to explain
We went on
it.
a. No, we ain't even. I was taller than this nigga.
I'm like, it's not even, it's maybe like even a couple inches, but like at a point the conversation came like he was like, I was insecure or worried about the height difference, but like he continues to pursue me. He's continued to be interested in me and like never stopped it, but it's still something that's like a insecurity or something that is in the back of his head about the difference between us.
How do you guys handle men's insecurities?
It's not my job to
Depends.
handle that. It's our job to figure it out, right?
In a healed way,
Sure.
yes, it is.
Hey, see, this is why niggas don't tell y'all, tell me your feelings. And we tell you your feelings. And you tell her, get over it. You're a man.
Oh,
No,
No,
it's
it's
terrible
not about
thing to
getting
say.
over it. It's
That's-
not about getting
Yeah.
over it. That's very
Say,
rude.
yeah.
I'll disagree
It's
with
about.
you.
It's not my job to figure that out for you.
No,
You need to figure it
But
out.
like if a man tells you like, oh yeah, this is something I'm insecure about. Is it a safe place for you guys to?
I think so. I think
At a
it
certain
should
point,
be. I
Yeah.
think
in the
that
conversation or the relationship, it should be.
I think going both ways.
Yeah.
If they're comfortable to share their insecurities and you're comfortable to share what your own are.
Yeah.
Not
I guess
that,
it's
not
like-
that you're expecting them to fix it or that they're expecting you to fix
Work
it,
on it.
but sometimes simply, I mean, it's
To be
one of the
respect-
oldest sayings
be
in the book
conscious
is
of
sometimes
it.
just talking about
'Cause
something.
the
and
thing is,
you
I
could-
Is it
can't.
going to cause a problem?
I can't help how I look.
Be conscious
Right?
of it.
Like I'm not the best looking guy. I'm a good looking, decent looking guy, but I'm not like Omarion, right? So if I'm insecure about things on like my feet, like I'm not the,
Right.
and I it should be a safe space to be like express
Definitely.
that.
I mean, to put it out there bluntly, like I've had 2 C-sections. I have a C-section scar, so I have the mommy pouch, all of that. So yes, I have insecurities and I'm self-conscious, and I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it, like especially if I'm gonna meet somebody and be, intimate with somebody and tell them that like that's my insecurity, like something I'm self-conscious about, and you just need to be aware. If
Did you guys know that men love that shit?
not
I
all
was
men
going to
do.
say, my experience, I feel like anything I'm insecure about, the man like doesn't give a fuck
They
about.
don't. They
Yeah, that's the
don't.
Yeah,
one-
like
yeah.
I,
In my last relationship, I told her my insecurities, and she was like, I don't give a fuck about that, and I was like, but yeah, I do.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
most
I
don't.
do.
But you never know the people that are just saying that to give you what you want to hear.
Sometimes
True.
I think it's fishing too. I know that whether they realized it or not, that's what they were doing, because there was this guy and he would make degrading comments about himself very often. They started not in the beginning, but then it started just to be all the time. You know, I'm so ugly, or I don't know, I'm fat, or I'm looking at him and I'm like, well, obviously, like, no, you're not. Like, I don't think that you're ugly at all, and I don't. You know, I would compliment, and I would try to make them feel better, and I would try to reassure them. But when it's all the constantly all the time,
I can see how that can be a thing. Yeah.
like, I don't want to keep going back and forth with you. Like, you need to be confident in yourself, and I'm like, nothing that I'm saying is doing anything or making you feel better. Obviously, if you're constantly feeling like this, so I know that this is a you problem at this point. You need to work on your insecurities.
Yeah.
And I can't fix it for you.
Right. You can't continue to give confirmation and affirmations to them that they need to be giving to themselves.
Britt, are you okay?
Yeah.
Look it out. My water went down the wrong pipe.
Oh, okay. All right. Just making sure you
But
didn't.
I was also agreeing with them.
What was it that Shamar? Oh, go ahead. Go
That's
ahead.
kind of what I meant. Like, I don't let it affect us. Like, you're negative and insecure all the time. Yo, baby.
I'm gonna play something just because I'm gonna play it.
Nigga, I don't give a fuck cause I'm a bitch getter. Got a white bitch, see a wrist later. Got Jewish money, nigga, fuck it. Don't let Septober be your babysitter. Cause I heard that nigga was a kid diddler. Yeah, I heard that nigga was a pedophile. Niggas
Was that AI? Was that AI?
One more time.
That sounds like
hate on me cause I'm a fat nigga. I don't give a fuck cause I'm a bitch getter. Got a white bitch, see a wrist later. Got Jewish money, nigga, fuck it. Don't let
Jewish
Septober
money?
be your babysitter. Cause I heard that nigga was a kid diddler. Yeah, I heard that nigga was a pedophile.
A pedophile.
Kid diddler, whistler.
I just played.
Who
I
is
just-
that about?
I just
P.
felt
Diddy?
like playing it. I'm gonna play with something else.
Who is
Do it
that?
to TD.
Freshen your bread up.
Do it.
Give me $50.
I ain't got it.
You can't afford to give me $50.
Get your ass out my goddamn coke.
What's happening?
I just felt like playing it for comedian effect.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to watch this back and take a screenshot of our facial reactions.
But it's funny because the dude who was
Why'd
singing,
you do that?
the dude who was singing, the dude
I'm
who
gonna have
was,
nightmares.
the dude who was singing is probably like 600 pounds.
The one who was saying,
Yeah, and he's like
got Jewish
bobbing,
money?
bobbing his head.
Okay.
But like,
Oh, is he
why?
freestyling?
No, he was on a show where you pretty much you sing your song on the.
Why would he sing stuff like that?
That's-
I thought it was
that's just his-
AI.
no, that's his song. I actually follow him on Instagram now, or the panel does.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, what did
That's why
Shamar
he did
Moore
it.
say? What was up with that?
Love him.
Take us away, La.
So I guess the girlfriend that he's with, that's also like a baby mama, he has no intentions of marrying her, and he blames it on the fact that he had no like marriage role models growing up to encourage him, or whatever to.
He basically said he sucks in that arena.
Yeah,
Right.
When it comes to marriage, because I don't know how their like relationship is. Obviously, she's a baby mama, so like.
So I have two women in the room who have been married prior, and one that hasn't, and I myself have been married prior, over 10 years ago. So I don't think that counts. Careful with the ice, Britt. Light on the ice.
base.
Yeah.
My drink is actually empty.
Drink is drinking. Oh, would you like me to take care of that for you?
Refill.
Yeah, okay.
That's your sign.
well, might-
Do you hear
might
the
need
ice?
I'm gonna ask La a question, and I'm gonna help Britt with her drink.
And I'm almost divorced, by the way.
Almost perfect.
Almost. I'm
Great.
still married.
Same.
Fuck that nigga. Fuck
So
that
what's
nigga
your
too. Hey,
question?
fuck that nigga too. La. Fuck that nigga too.
What's your question?
Yeah. How do you guys feel about remarrying or marriage in general? We'll start with La, and then we'll go to Erica. We'll end with Britt. I'm gonna refill Britt's drink.
Thank you.
So that's like I had different stages when it came to marriage. Like obviously when I was a little girl, oh yes, that's the dream. I'm gonna be married and have X amount of kids and blah blah blah. And going into it like for a long time, especially after reading certain books, like I didn't care about marriage. I wasn't worried about marriage. It wasn't even a factor. And then going through certain stages with my children's father, at a certain point, like I was ready to get married. I wanted to get married with him. I wanted to spend life with him, and I wanted to have kids and just like have that happily ever after.
Be careful with the ice.
The bass.
The bass is picking it up. We hear you making my drink.
And like after this point now where things didn't work out like they were supposed to, and we're in the situation that we are, like I have no desire to really get married again.
Okay.
I'm not worried.
I feel like almost the exact same. I don't even know why I said
No,
almost.
yeah.
The exact same.
And like
That's like exactly what happened with myself. I had no desire to get married, and then I met someone, went through some shit, had another baby, and then it didn't work out, and now I'm just like, I'm good.
Yeah. And it's not because, I mean, my parents were divorced. So that's something that like is embedded in me too, like thinking about marriage and growing up. But I've seen, you know, marriages otherwise. My grandparents on both sides, my, you know, some of my siblings, cousins, whatever, where they have happily ever after marriages.
Yeah, I have a
so it's not
sister
like, yeah.
and brother-in-law who are embody
Yeah.
like a beautiful, perfect relationship. That's like been my only real true example of a healthy marriage, truly. My parents should have been divorced, but they never got. Sorry, guys, if you're listening, but it's time to separate now. So I just think society really like pressures marriage. I do feel like the younger generation now is kind of catching on to that like it's okay to not settle and fight for what you want, and if you don't get it, then it's okay to be alone, and or also just that like we don't need to get married and have kids, we can just be together because I don't think people realize how complicated a divorce really is, like even just financially, like there's no
It's a big,
and like how weddings are a scam and just like how much money
I
you
love
put into
weddings though. I love
so do I
doing it
truly
all.
thank you.
I still love my wedding dress to this day.
I do love a good wedding for sure.
But it's like,
even you can have a wedding to celebrate your love, but you don't have to like go into all the nitty gritty of like the paperwork and the commitment, because it's for someone who's gone through my divorce for 2 years. I don't ever want to deal with that again. It's been 2 years
rough.
of
It's rough.
I don't.
Do you feel like if you found the right person, it would be worth going through because you don't feel like you would go through a divorce again?
I can't
but
really.
you don't know.
Yeah, I can't
At that moment in time,
answer that.
and that bliss, you feel like that is the right person. And you're
Yeah,
gonna spend
but
your life
you
with
just
them.
never know. You never know.
Because, I mean, my
One
divorce
thing-
wasn't tumultuous. I mean, we went undocumented for a good 6 years to where, like, we were separated. She had moved on with someone. I know. It's strong. Is it strong?
Why didn't you just give me a seltzer?
I don't even know.
I said it was just in the fridge.
Oh, I didn't know that was it.
Tequila?
Yeah.
to kill you.
What are you doing?
To kill
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Sip slow. Do you want to trade with me? Mine's is light.
No, I just wanted the seltzer that I brought here. I put
No,
it
it's
in
cool.
the fridge. I don't want this.
Sip that. It's good.
It really depends, though. Like back to the people on the relationship and the communication and how the divorce.
It burned a little bit.
I was expecting a black cherry neutral, and I get like tequila water.
It's different.
What are you trying to do here? Okay,
Tequila with
I'm
a
sorry.
twang. Yeah, no, I mean, so like I said, with my marriage, you know, we separated, and then she moved on to someone different, and then, watch that face, and then, you know, we just went our separate ways, and eventually we just did the paperwork because, oh yeah, we got to get divorced eventually.
I think it gets different with each generation as it passes.
Because we had a house together, so
Right.
we like
That's different.
had
Yeah, that's
to do
different.
it.
It's so many different
Yeah.
factors, but it's so many different things that passes on from generation that doesn't pass on from generation to generation. Because you think about your grandparents and your great grandparents and your great 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 parents, like a lot of them were forced to get married and they were forced to stay to each other. There was no options of divorce or separation and whatnot.
women
Yeah.
depended on men.
exactly. And women, you know,
That's what I think
having to
women
be
are
so
learning.
submissive.
Like you don't really need to be dependent on a man.
So that realization is coming into it, and a lot of the religious factors that play into our marriage are not factors anymore with the younger generations that are Erica's age, a little bit older, a little bit younger, where it's a big factor now
But I
in
feel like
making decisions in relationships and marriage.
I feel like you're a lover girl, so you want to get married and find the right person, but I feel like you like are smart about it and like aren't pressured, like you're not going to settle.
How do you feel about marriage, Erica?
Yeah.
She's not traumatized yet.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the trauma to
Yeah.
like.
What do you feel?
I think I've always been very careful with picking even just people to date, because that is kind of a thought in the back of my head. If I'm going to take a man seriously and date him seriously, it's because I'm envisioning a future and I'm trying to build that. But I also think it's important for myself to not make an impulsive decision or have kids before. I don't want to have kids with someone and the relationship dwindle down into just being co-parents with someone because the relationship romance part of it didn't work out. So to me, that is such a huge decision, to the point where I think I have some commitment issues because I don't want to jump into anything with anyone that's without knowing even who fully I am yet, because I feel like I'm so young and I still have so much growth to do and career building, and I'm still pursuing higher education. And so it's important to me that I am the best version of myself, so that way I'm not attracting bums or emotionally immature men or because I can be alone, and I would rather be alone than to be
a bum.
Just dating someone that doesn't want to be on the same level that I aspire to be on, if that makes sense.
So I feel like there's like this very fine line between the different generations and the stuff of like having boundaries and what you're going to accept and what you deserve over the, what's the word? The walls that you're building up and just not letting anything happen or letting anything being pursued because you just won't tolerate anything at all. So you won't experience stuff, you won't let stuff happen, and you won't learn lessons to figure out where you want to be because you have these walls up, compared to boundaries. Like, what's the difference? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Boundaries and walls.
I've talked about a little bit of my dating life. It's not that I don't date, period. It's just I'm very selective on who I'll date, and that I'm looking more at their character. Like, I think I could end up just marrying for love. I don't need,
Let me ask
a rich man, but I'm looking for. I think that he probably will be
a man in finance, trust fund, 6'5", blue eyes.
Let me ask. Erica, stay with me on this. Britt and Lon, let me ask you guys a question. Do you feel like if you had a better co-parenting situation, even though the relationship didn't work out, do you feel like if you had a better co-parenting situation, you would be more open to remarrying?
I have no problems with my co-parenting situation.
Oh, okay, cool. Never mind that.
At all. So it's not about the
that
co-parenting
doesn't
portion.
affect.
It's about me and a relationship situation.
It's about what actually happened in the relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it's about the men.
I just wondered if it was like if it was more about like what happened once you decided to break things off. If that was so, it was like, oh, I never want to go through this again.
No, not about the parenting part. It's about the relationship part and the person part. And
I truly think we shouldn't be dating to marry until we're like 32. Because like the frontal lobe's not developed. We're not able to like process and like problem solve, decision make. Like, I feel like we need to make it.
And that makes sense. I think men, a lot of
There
men
are
don't.
like children being encouraged to like, like prom and dating. And I think they should experience that, but I don't think we're dating in a safe way. As a society.
That's a tradition of society because, You know, I say all the time, the reason why I did get married is because my dad said it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And I was 21 years old.
Like,
and
that's not a
he
good
was
idea.
like, you know, and the way that I was brought up, you only date
No,
to
it's
marry.
you. Are you okay?
Your turn. I hope I'm not next. Don't let me be next.
But the way that I was brought up, you know, you the person that you date, you generally marry. Like my sister dated one guy, married one guy. You know,
Yeah.
she'd only been with one guy her entire life. The person that I was planning on dating when I was in the church was probably the person I would have ended up with. Thank God it didn't happen that way. But you know, that's kind of how.
But you were like, it's almost like everyone supported it. Like, yeah, this
No.
is his
Yeah, that's it.
wife.
If you're going to date,
Yeah.
you are going to
And
get
then-
married.
yeah.
You don't. It was very rare that I saw two people date
And
that
why
didn't
are
get
we
married.
pressuring children to get
I
married?
don't think it was so much pressure. I think it was just like in the
Normalizing children
it was
getting married?
in the church. You can't fornicate.
Secret Mormon hookups.
No, it was in the church.
It
You can't
exists.
fornicate. So
Until you're married?
Until you're married. So it was kind of like, well, you ain't gonna be out there fucking. So if you guys
do.
you guys got to get married. You trying to fuck? You got to
So
get married.
this is like,
It's pushed
that's
on.
purely like religion.
That was real, yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to understand the majority. It showed you in this last election. The majority of the United States are very religious.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
This
they
is-
follow their religious.
yeah, this is the thing. You can't be out here fornicating. But
But like going into that, like I said, I mean, back to the like dating, like all the people that I matched with, whether they were from like 28 to 50 years old, like the ones that I was actually communicating and conversation and enjoying, they were all the younger ones that were up to 32, 35 at the oldest. So like, what does that say about like them and their generation and me and my generation?
I'll tell you what
like,
happens when men are.
thinking
I'll
and,
tell you what happens with men when they get into their 30s, right? This is what happened to men in their 30s,
They
right?
feel rushed.
No,
someone?
not so much rushed, but mortality becomes a real thing. Women have a biological clock that their bodies tell them, you know, I need to have babies in between this time and this time. At a certain period of time, it ain't gonna happen no more. So if I want to have children, I have to go through the process.
Okay.
For men, it's different. For men, we look at mortality. I don't want to die alone. So I understand that I have to give up this, and that freedom. I have to move this, and that way, because if I want to have these things, but in our 20s, we don't give a fuck about that at all. Like,
Okay.
not
But
even a
why
little
is
bit.
it 30? Like
At,
you're
at 30, at 30, you start to realize it a little bit more. It happens for every man in my life right now
Okay.
that I know in their
30 and
30s,
they're
their
worrying about
30s,
dying alone.
they start to worry about, oh, okay, I
Getting
need to
Barbie.
find, because we have all our fun in the 20s because we don't give a fuck. But for a woman, it
Now you're
happens a
starting
lot
to care.
earlier. In my experience, women a lot earlier in life, in like their 20s, were interested in like, oh, I'm interested in kids, and maybe not now, and
Okay,
but
but
back then, yes, when I was
me-
younger,
In my profile, I explain I have kids. I explain my age.
right.
You know, my profession, whatever.
Right.
So that's all out on the floor.
Right.
And the men that I've matched with between 28 and 35, some have had kids already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any have been married, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
Some have not have kids yet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been the same type of mutual interaction, kids or no kids. So they kind of experience both type of lifestyles.
Yeah, but at that point, you wanna go ahead and. Okay, so the woman that I'm most interested in right now, I understand that she might not want kids, but at the same point in time, even though I may want kids with someone different, or I may want kids in the future, I'm okay with the kids that she's got because she's so ball. Like, she's so cool. Like,
Okay,
she's
yeah.
so
So,
cool.
wait,
so I don't
kids-
need
so
that.
kids
So I
not-
don't need to build that again.
Kids not involved though. Like, how am I clicking so much just because I don't like talk about my kids and like that's not our conversation.
No,
and,
it may not be kids, but it's like,
how am I
wanna,
clicking with these people so young and not people my age where I might or I should have more in common with because we kind of experienced a lot more. You know what I'm saying?
Also, when men get to a certain age, we're just like, fuck it. I just want to fucking just be me. I know that. I know with me personally, if I get to about 38, 39 and I'm still single, yeah, I'm just going to write this out by myself, big dog.
But like the conversation flows with the younger ones, like the older ones, like
it probably just means that you have a younger spirit. It probably just because when men get stuck
I will take
in their,
that. I have a younger spirit.
You have a younger spirit.
I
will say men in their later 30s are a bit more drier, but also that generation of men, they're not. They're not millennials at that point. They're not as millennial, right?
Yeah.
So that's a different generation that you're talking to.
Yes,
you
definitely.
may just identify with millennials a little bit better than you identify with.
Because I am a millennial.
You're probably an older millennial.
Yeah, we are.
In the nicest way possible. You don't look like an older millennial, okay?
I'm an older millennial, yes.
Okay.
But also,
Well, yeah, then you're
also you got to remember,
spirit.
men who are in their early 30s right now, we're in a different age of society where we're a lot more expressive, we're more entrepreneurial. We go out and get it. We like to do things. We like to see things. The world is a bigger place for us than a lot of people who are. I guess the younger you talk to people, the bigger the world is.
And that's definitely like attractive and like, very optimistic in it. And then I get back to the point where like, okay, but I got kids and I got a schedule and this and this and that. I can't just be at your disposal. Like I want you to be at my disposal when I'm available because I'm not openly available. Like I got, kids on this day, school, sports, whatever, like it's just not the same. So it's like always a clashing conflict, where they have no kids and they just have open availability outside of their work.
If a guy likes you enough, he'll make the time. He'll figure it out.
True.
If he likes
If
you
he
enough,
wanted to, he would.
if he wants to,
well,
he
it's
will.
not just he, but I'm just saying in general.
In general, if they want to, if they like you enough, they will.
It's just fascinating. That's
Something we learned this week. We're about an hour and 8 in, so what's something that you
it?
ladies learned this week?
I thought we've been here for I thought we
Forever.
were going on 2 hours.
Yeah, no. What's something that you guys learned this week?
Don't look at me, guys.
Yeah. This week? Like educational or like
Anything that you learned.
thought-provoking?
Anything that you learned.
I learned that Whoopi Goldberg wants to start an all-women's sports network.
I
and
saw
thought
that. She is starting an all-girls,
She is
all
starting
women's
it.
sports network.
Can't
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
Go women.
Go women.
Go sports.
Yeah. Go. Go.
Did Mike Tyson win his fight?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll look that up. But in the meantime, Erica, did you have anything? Just put you on the spot. I could tell you
Honestly, I don't think I've learned anything new.
I could tell you what I
that
learned.
would be interesting to the viewers.
I'll tell you what I learned.
Go ahead.
I learned that I love to be wanted. It is the best feeling ever. Go ahead.
Didn't someone say something about love bombing? Okay. Did you just experience love bombing?
I've experienced it before.
That's something you learned. What did you learn about love bombing?
It doesn't work on me in the way that they think it's gonna work on me.
Okay.
But I like it. I enjoy it. I learned
It
that.
works on me because
It's
I'm like, how
attention.
could you not fucking love me?
I think
You love to be wanted, Steve.
No, yeah, it's
I'm
the same
too
thing.
smart.
It's a
So
the
you
same
would you would fall for being
believe
love
it.
bombed?
Well, no, it wasn't a
Absolutely.
relationship. I went, a little background on me. I sold cars for 10 years. I was in management for a long portion of that. I was into training and all that other stuff. I went to a dealership to help my godmom buy a vehicle. Shout out Joyce. Love you very much. And in that process, the managers were very adamant on me coming to work for them. And they pulled me in their offices and
Love that for you.
you want anything to drink? Can we get you anything? What will it take
We're
to
a
get
big
you?
daddy out
Oh
on
my God.
campus.
I was Big Daddy. The salespeople were looking around like, who the fuck is this guy?
Did you have your pea coat on too?
I did not. I had on my T-Mobile plaid shirt, and I had on my very Jamaican head wrap, and it was just my personality that put them on to myself, and it was just really cool to go somewhere and the general manager just pulls you and like, hey man, I would love to have you here. I feel like you're the missing link and this and that. And especially when you go to work every day and you just feel like a number.
Yep.
And it's when, my resume in the sales field is probably one of the best resumes you can find. I have a very extensive training. I went to business school, like all types of stuff. So I get it, and then they found out about some of the other skills I had. They go, oh my God, I got to tell the general manager that you know how to do such and such. So that type of thing. And I just, I loved it. I loved every single.
You're eating it up.
I ate it all. I didn't
seated.
even. The thing is like I didn't even have to go into his office and talk. I just went in there just so he can just shower me with a little bit more love. Give it to me a little bit. I'm not feeling this enough where I'm at.
But that's a sad thing. A lot of people and
it is sad.
And no, in
It's
upper
sad.
management and just management period, if you don't show appreciation to your employees, to the people that are working under you, and give them something, once they see it and feel it somewhere else, like
They're gone.
They're gone.
And it's not that where I'm at right now, I don't feel enough of it.
Yeah,
because I mean, maybe
Obviously you don't.
a couple months ago I was
You're, like,
disrespected where I
drooling.
worked.
Yeah.
Now I'm at a point where my current boss, she understands who I be, and she gets
good.
it,
That's
but
good.
and she treats me with respect. But these people, this is my native field. The field that I work in now isn't the field where I pull my balls out and I really show who the fuck
Put your
I
whole
am.
Badoosie in it.
But feeling
Yeah.
respected and feeling appreciated are two different things. You can be respected
Yeah.
for who you are and what you do, but to be appreciated
Yeah.
for the work and the effort and everything that you do day in, day out for that company, for that job, for that person,
Mm-hmm.
to make the job happen, to make everything move smoothly, is like way different. And
And
when
to
you
feel
don't
like
get
the
that,
man.
like you just feel like you don't feel like shit, and you don't feel like going in, you don't feel like doing nothing. You feel like doing the bare minimal, getting in, getting out.
Motherfucker asked me if I wanted an espresso. I said, where the fuck you get an espresso with this motherfucker?
he had an espresso machine.
He had to get an espresso machine. He was going to share it with me. And and it was cool because we did have some moments where he had a very emotional moment with my godmom. And when he was telling me about it, he teared up. And the fact that he was comfortable enough to do that, I could see his eyes welling and he wiped his. It was such a touching moment. And it was such a cool experience. But in the same token, he was telling me, listen, guy, you're the bee's knees, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I love being wanted. I haven't felt that in such a long time. Not just secularly, just in my life in general. Just being desired in that manner just felt really, really good. To just be along, and not to say that not that I would want that from women or anything like that. Like I feel like that's different. That's a different type of
Yeah,
in your
yeah,
career?
for sure.
Yeah, and
I get it.
It felt good. So
Because you know the work and the commitment and the effort
Yeah.
and the time and everything that you put in.
Yep.
And whether it was that field or all fields or anything that coincides, like
I left it all on the field when I did that work.
'cause
Every
you were
little bit
putting
of it.
like over 40 hours a week
Double.
doing something like that. Yeah,
If not 80 to 90, yeah.
That's
to not get
wild.
recognized
Yeah.
and finally get recognized.
Oh,
Definitely,
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Definitely,
100%. 100%. I put my balls on the table. I let him. I was like, hey, if I just want to let you know, like, if I come aboard, I'm not trying to be in sales very long. Streamline the management. Don't lie to me.
Right.
I need guarantees. You got to pay me. I need a sign on bonus. That type
But
shit.
that stuff you learn along the ways
Yeah.
because you live and you learn and all that shit.
Who doesn't want to be desired? Put me on a fucking throne. Rub my shoulders. Feed me grapes.
But that's because you worked for it, you earned it,
Oh,
you
yeah.
deserve it, and you're doing a damn good job at what you do, and you're gonna give them what they want.
I could see myself going in there and dominating. But
Yeah, definitely.
It just wasn't the opportunity that I needed in order to do this too. So but that's something that I learned. Anything else on this topic?
So I learned that, I guess because of all the statistics that came out with I hate to get political, but with the presidential candidates and stuff, a lot of Black people realized, or the statistic came out that a lot of Hispanics did not vote for Kamala, and
They want to change their vote.
that a lot of African Americans, Black people, are upset about it to the point where like the black and brown are not
Yeah,
like
they're not clicking.
yes,
They're not vibing
and
anymore.
Clicking.
no, they're not.
Uncle
And
Luke said we ain't marching for
Uncle
y'all
Luke,
no more.
yes, exactly. And there's other people that have been on social media, like black African American people, saying like they're not just with Hispanics anymore because of that reason.
As a Hispanic woman, how do you feel about that?
I didn't vote
Okay. Why?
because
I didn't either.
I've said it
with you.
before in our other podcast. They're just the spokesperson. They're just the voice, the face. Everybody in the background are all making all the decisions. They're all gonna make what's gonna happen, regardless if it was her or him. You know, the next people, whatever. So it really doesn't matter because
And you're not the
the
only one that
same
felt that
agenda
way.
is always going to happen regardless. I don't like Trump as a person, and I didn't like keep up with all their things that they were trying to convince people that they were trying to pursue or trying to put into place. I think it's just all too much.
Yeah.
This is a gimmick.
And it's unfortunate how things rolled out, but hopefully everybody can come together and wrap their arms around each other and still make the world a better place regardless.
I think I think people just let their emotions get in the way, and they let media like play into their decisions and how they feel instead of like the real situation or the real world, I guess.
Are you disappointed in black people for feeling that way? Or do you feel like it's justified?
So one other thing I heard about it, and it's very accurate, is like Hispanic people, they are very, if you call a Mexican a Puerto Rican, they're going to get offended.
They're going to get pissed.
If you call a Dominican, a Mexican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, they're going to get, but that's because they're very prideful on their culture and their background. So it's not like, they, hate Puerto Ricans, they hate Dominicans, they hate Mexicans. They're just very prideful on who they are and where they came from. So there's a lot of hate in between like the Hispanic cultures because of that, or like that's how it's perceived. So I don't think that's something that's new, but it's new that like the Black or African American culture are kind of incorporated into that. However, how many people are included in that because of Trump winning over Kamala?
And then also you got to remember a lot of black people voted for Trump too. A lot of after I went to church. I go to church on Wednesdays, and I go to a non-denominational church, and they were preaching Trump. And the reason being is because they're evangelists and they believe that abortion is killing babies, and they believe that if Kamala would have got in office, then we would have been killing babies and doing different things, and same-sex marriage is not a great thing. And that's just what they believe. And so a lot of black folks got wrapped up in that too. She lost a lot of black vote. There was a lot of black men who said that she didn't do enough to speak to black men. She had a lot of black women up there and things like that, but black men felt like she's not talking to us and that Trump was talking to us. I was one of the people who felt like she didn't say anything to me. In what way? She didn't touch me. There wasn't anything about her that touched me. But that didn't mean that I wasn't going to vote for her, because I still support black women and I support what she stands for and those things. But, it's just, it kind of is what it is. I feel like one way or another, we're going to end up somewhere, and it's only 4 years. So,
and all those opinions are being based off of statistics that were reported.
Right.
And that's if you believe those statistics.
100%.
And if you believe the agendas that they are pushing are actually going to be pursued.
Yeah, you gotta always source where you get what from and things like that.
Yeah,
so.
because they still have to go through each, house.
Yeah.
They can push, and everybody's not going to go for it.
They're not talking to every single person in America to find out what they really believe.
It's so petty to me, but like
that shit's strong, ain't it?
Like, you want to go to those points where you're going to go on social media, especially if you're like a person who has a big following, and say something ignorant like that when you really know nothing has happened yet.
Right.
Like, seriously.
Right.
But
we'll see how the cookie crumbles. Yeah. Let's see. How do you guys feel about beating your kids? La, do you beat your kids?
I don't.
Do you whoop your kids?
I pinch like the most I do is I pinch them.
Ooh, my mom used to pinch me.
But I really try to make that the last thing. The biggest thing I do for them is I give them consequences. And I tell them, look, you're going to keep doing this or you're going to do this. There's going to be consequences. I'm not going to hit you and push you.
How are you guys raised? How were you raised? You come from a Hispanic
I
household.
didn't get hit, but
Okay.
my siblings have at one point got hit. But I feel like it's the same kind of for how I am now. Like nothing was really pushed too hard.
Erica, how were you raised?
In fear. I was beat.
Erica.
Do you feel like it was detrimental, or do you feel like it was positive, or it had a positive impact?
Well, she just said in fear. So
I think there are a lot of lessons that I learned that I didn't have to learn in that way.
Right. I think it's different for girls too.
I also think it's a slippery slope
Right.
to go down and say, I don't like to place blame on how I was raised as to who I am today, because I don't identify with the 6-year-old version of myself, or I don't know. Does that make sense?
It makes
Good
perfect
though.
sense.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because people do.
I am who I am today because of my experiences and because how I was raised, yes, but I don't identify as
Yes,
like
'cause
that's not
a lot of people
something
are
I
still
go around
traumatized
and
by their 6-year-old, 10-year-old self and what they've been
You've
through,
healed
and they
your inner
haven't healed
child.
and gone through it.
Yeah.
and
That's very mature of you to say.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
do I have
The-
resentments
get the
about it
crap.
of course.
towards individuals? Yes,
Of course.
I do. I'll forgive, but I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
So
how
still a
old
trauma.
were you?
6.
6.
kidding.
like as early as I can remember.
So-
honestly, which is
Yeah.
it doesn't sound nice.
No.
Like I had a good
judgment.
childhood. I have a lot of good memories, but I also have some bad ones. So
Yeah.
But that's why I try to push.
I'm not gonna do that to my kids.
I don't try to say you're going to get punished. This is your punishment for this. This is why you're getting this. I say it's a consequence. You decided to do this.
Yeah.
You decided to make that action. You decided to say this. This is going to be your consequence
That is
for doing it.
that is
just
a
like
natural
if-
consequence.
Yes. Just like if you do something in a positive thing, your consequence is going to be something positive. It's a consequence for what you decided to do because you were in your right mind of what you were doing.
And I agree with that. It's something that I just realized I just like in my head, it just popped in my head. So growing up, I got the belt. Me and my brother, we got the belt. And I just realized I can't remember one time my sister got the belt. Both my sisters.
Yeah. Why were you getting the belt? Not that.
I think it was because we were boys. Yeah. And I think it was because, and I only got it from my dad. I didn't get spankings from my mom. My mom, she would pinch. She would threaten.
I pinch.
But we would also, because of that, I also would have altercations with my mom, to where when I was in my preteens phase, we were tussling. And then I got a whooping from my dad because of it.
Like you were tussling. you
Like
and
my
your
mom would grab me and I would grab her back and say, "You're not grabbing me anymore. I'm stronger than you."
Ooh.
And she would, and then my dad came home. Like it got to a point where I was saying, I had a very smart mouth, very, very. And I would say things to my mom and she would always, your mouth is so smart, blah, 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 blah.
She'd tell you.
And it got to one point where I tried that shit on my dad and he was cooking. And I remember I said something to him about my mom and I must have did one of these bob with my head. And all I remember was his hand about this close to my face. And I felt a bap. And then I remember this nigga just hit me in my face. And he said, "Now go in the living room and sit down until I tell you to stand up, or until I tell you to get up." And also I have to bring up the fact that, my dad, he raised us that way, but at one point, my dad whooped my brother with a belt. I think he was probably about 9 to 10 years old, and then he got a cut on his leg. He went to school, or he ended up getting,
Like the belt cut him.
So we had an old chandelier in our dining room. My dad went up with the belt and hit the chandelier. It busted glass, and he came down, and it cut my brother on the leg. My brother still has a scar on his leg. My brother had to go get stitches. My brother went to school the next day. CPS came, called my dad up to the school, and arrested my dad. And I didn't see my dad for 6 months.
Okay.
Dang.
I mean, it's nothing. It's not a, because here's the thing. Like, my dad was raised this way, and he told the judge, I didn't know that it was illegal to not hit your kids with anything other than your hand. It was an accident. I was just trying to raise my kids right. My dad felt like he was in every right doing the right thing. After that, he had to get very creative with how he punished us. But he felt, and I feel like we talk about fear, but there is a such thing as a healthy fear. We talk about fear, but there's the thing where they say fear of God, right? That's a healthy fear. It's a fear of authority. It's a fear of letting them down. It's a fear of, and there's healthy ways to get to that fear. But I feel like in the environment that I was raised in, I needed a harder fear, because if that fear wasn't there, it was very easy for me to fall into different things. I went to school and everybody on my bus was in a gang. I feel like if my dad wasn't so hard on me, it would have been very easy for me to just fall into that.
But that's a generational thing, because
I think so too.
the gangs are still very relevant now.
I think it's
you
also
don't
situational.
have to be that stern, and that
I feel
violent on somebody for them not to.
I don't think
join
that him hitting us.
gang.
I don't think that him cutting my brother's leg with a belt was what he needed. But I do feel like
I'm talking about you, like you and your brother.
Yeah.
Like you don't need that type of discipline in order to not make those right decisions.
And maybe
It's all
maybe he
a
felt
mind frame.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe the action wasn't. I do believe in spankings. I do. For young boys, I believe they got to get their ass beat sometimes, because a lot of times boys will test you until you do it. And I believe that a man setting another young man straight, there gets to a point with an adolescence with a young boy where it's like, all right, little nigga, let me show you something. And it always gets to that point where they feel like, nah, I ain't gotta listen to you. I could take you.
But
there
I
has to be
feel like
that.
it's a
that
generational
petty-
thing.
if you form a healthy relationship with your child, son, daughter, they won't feel the need to challenge you. And I feel like with your
feel like there's always
parents, it
gonna be a
was like
challenge.
they worked
Yes.
and you were their kids. There was no like actual. It seems like they're like, how was your mom and dad's relationship? Did he disrespect her in front of you to where you felt the need that it was okay?
They argued, but I don't feel like it was. There was no disrespect.
No, I'm
there was-
laughing because I'm thinking about how the way that you're framing it almost makes it sound like
I feel like
that
boys
you
need
guys
that.
deserved it, or that they deserve it, or that they.
I feel like we did. I
But
feel
then
like
I was laughing
I feel like
'cause-
if my dad didn't whoop me as a kid, then we would have challenged more. And if we would have challenged more, I wouldn't be here.
But challenging isn't always a bad thing. And you think that
Yeah.
you doing it is going to lead you into a bad direction. It could have led you into a better direction. It could have led you into a lawyer, a president, a judge.
I think that young men need to understand that I think young men have to have a respect for authority to where they aren't entitled. I think there's an entitlement that a young man can be raised with that I don't think women would understand unless it's different with a father and son than it is with a mother and son. A mother and son have a different relationship. My mother didn't beat me. My mother sat me down and reasoned with me. My mother would have.
Well, why
but,
can't
but
men,
a lot of times,
why can't
a lot of
dads do
times,
that?
well, a lot of times it would get to a certain point where my mother could only do so much, and then she's like, "I can't teach you how to be a man. He's got to step in and teach you those
But why
things."
do you-
But violence
why do you have to
shouldn't
be-
be the point.
yeah,
of
why do you
that.
have to be
It's,
beat
it's
to be
stepping
a
into the
man?
role of being the provider and being the head of the
you-
household.
do you guys-
It shouldn't include
do you
violence.
guys believe? Well, it's not violence. It's just
It is.
I think
It
it's
is. Like,
discipline.
the
It's
father
violence.
of
It's
my children
discipline.
is 7 years older than me, and that's what he resorted to: getting the belt and wanting to spank them to teach
Yeah.
them and understand this is going to be your consequence for what you did. That's not a consequence. How is hitting somebody a consequence?
Yeah, I see-
if you did something wrong,
because
getting hit,
in the real world, the consequences of doing things are more harsh.
yeah. If my consequence to you for what you're doing is,
But we're never
you don't
beaten.
get to go
That's
and play your
never-
Nintendo.
That's a real world
You
thing.
don't get to do this
When
and
a-
that
in
that
the-
you
in the real
enjoy.
world-
When are we beaten in the real
And
world?
not women, but men. In the real
When
world,
are they-
when you challenge authority as a black man, you are beaten.
Okay.
No, you are getting consequences
okay,
that's
so-
gonna
so
prevent you from doing
when you-
something
when
that's
you-
beneficial for
Okay,
you.
when
If beneficial for you as a child is getting to play with your friends, getting to play with your electronics,
Yes,
getting
not
to do
beaten.
certain things that you enjoy.
I had a smart mouth, right? I tried that shit with my dad.
My
He
son
smacked
has
me-
a smart mouth.
He smacked me across the face, and he said, "You're gonna have to talk to me with respect." He taught me respect to authority.
You don't have to smack your face.
If you try that shit as a black, and I think maybe I'm talking to the wrong people because I'm talking I'm talking
I
to
got beat for no reason sometimes.
Here's the thing. I think I'm talking to the wrong people because
Pissed
I'm
them
talking
off, or,
I'm talking
you know,
to a
like-
Hispanic woman, a
Yeah,
white
two
woman,
white
and another
women.
white woman. The world is so much different
No,
for
and
a
I
black
understand
man.
how black
to
men
black
were beaten
men-
by their parents to
I
understand
think-
authority. That is very
I
real.
think for black
and
men,
that's
you
valid
need that.
for you.
Maybe not for a young white kid. Maybe not for a young Hispanic kid. You might not need that. I believe for
My child
young,
is half black.
But
for young black
everybody,
men, you need that.
But
You
Because
don't
if
need that.
Because if you don't have that and you go out to society and you have this sense of entitlement, the world will show you so much harsher consequences. If I go to an officer and I talk to an officer with disrespect, if maybe for a white kid, he can get away with it. But for a black kid, he's going to drag him out of the car
think-
and he's going to beat the shit out of him. That's what happens in the real world. Because I tried that shit and I got shown. I tried it a little bit. I took it just a little bit. Hey, man. Hey, motherfucker.
It's
if
all
you
about
talk to-
presentation, though.
it's about learning respect and the
But
pecking order of
but
life.
this still
Respect,
all goes
exactly.
back to how a black father doesn't need to show violence to
It's
teach
not. I don't think
his-
it's violence. It's not violence.
is,
It's
though.
love. It's love.
No,
My dad whooped me because he
loved
loved. No,
He's scaring you into
he
discipline.
showed me that you have consequences for your actions.
Exact consequences. Yes.
and because of
But it doesn't need to be violence.
It doesn't. Okay,
He
so
could have
and
taught
later
you
on,
how to respect officers and all of that.
I don't
in
think.
a
I think at a
nonviolent
certain
way.
age, it does need to stop. I think when you get into the preteens, you don't necessarily have to.
Honestly,
there's other
that's
ways
when-
to do it.
That I
but
understand.
when you're
that's when
younger,
it would start. You're younger. You definitely don't need violence.
no.
As
when
an
you're
early
younger,
childhood educator who has studied and went to school for children,
white.
that is
White.
white and black and Hispanic. I've taught all children.
You've
of
taught
all
all,
colors.
but
that
I'm
you don't
giving you my
need
experience as a
to-
black man.
And I'm giving an experience as an educator who has worked with all types of children that has seen firsthand how you don't
Mm-hmm.
need to use violence to persuade children. And
But it's not violence. It's because the thing is like
someone Google violence. What is
Because
violence?
because when you
What is violence?
when you get approached by another figure like a police officer or somebody that is like considered more dominant with you, above you, like in their field of work, I mean, you're gonna because of how your upbringing, you're gonna expect them to approach you with like violence, with automatically throwing
Real
you on the
quick.
roof of their car and like doing that, and like you're not gonna talk to
'cause-
them
and
and
here's the thing.
Violence is the intentional or unintentional use of force that can cause harm, injury, or death.
but it's not
to an
causing harm, injury, or death.
It is causing harm.
Okay,
Traumatic.
I will.
Why do you
I will
think
also say this. I will
you
also say
listened
this.
because you got hurt.
I will.
For
I will
not
also say
listening.
this. I will also
That
say
was
this.
the consequence.
These past generations into the 2000s have this new age soft
not
notion.
even
This
soft.
new age. Listen, it's that they have this new age soft ideal
It's not soft.
of how. Yes, they do, because the
not
kids who
soft.
grow up in this age, the men, the real men in the world believe that the newer kids are soft. They're soft, and when you raise a kid that grows up soft with
Because
all
that's
these emotions,
how
and all
fucked
these,
up the older generations
no,
are.
Yes.
no.
Is
The-
that
it's
they,
all
they,
about
they
perspective.
weren't allowed to
Thousands
have
of
emotions. They got
years-
beat
It's
for
all about
having
thousands of
emotions.
years they've had discipline,
They
and
got
all of a
beat
sudden
for having
kids don't have have discipline and
It's all
they're
about
just running amok.
perspective.
They
It's
got
all about
beat for
perspective.
having
Okay, so if it's all about perspective, I will tell you, living as a black man, which no one in this room has,
No.
you need that. You
What?
need. It's essential to be.
But the world is
punished in that manner.
changing. The world is not the same as it was.
I understand. It's
Generations and
becoming
generations ago,
softer,
where a
and you
black
have
man
these-
had to be in a certain
And you have these young
space.
black kids who are growing up soft, and
They're
they're
not
not
growing
What's
going
the
to be able
difference
to.
between
they're not-
soft and
They're not going to be able.
respectable?
No.
They're not going to be able to take the realities
I'm
of
not.
society.
Look, if
But you
my
can-
child does something wrong and they're going to get a consequence, they're going to get a consequence. You can't have your Nintendo. You can't have your iPad.
You don't need it.
But
They have a
I'm
kid.
not. I'm not.
I get it as a
No,
woman. I
no,
understand where it's
excuse me.
coming
No,
from.
wait. I'm not shutting you off. I'm not cutting you off when you have to say what you have to say, when you have to speak your
Yeah,
feelings,
people
when
wanna
you
be
want to
heard.
express yourself. I'm
Okay.
going to let you talk.
and-
And just like you said you had a very smart mouth. You had a very.
And I was taught
My
that's
children
not what you
are
do.
very smart. They're very.
I was taught all that attitude and telling authority
just
no,
attitude. No,
and telling
no, not
authority
just
what you're not
no.
going to do, and
No,
telling authority how you feel.
No,
I was taught
no.
that shit don't matter.
No,
That
it's
just
not
do what
about
you're
like
told.
saying no or saying how you feel, what you matter, but it's proving a point.
So I think
It's
you
giving
were
their
scared
perspective.
into respecting authority.
They're
That's-
giving their
No, I was
perspective.
shown
That's valid.
consequences.
They're not
I was
telling me
shown
something
consequences.
like they tell me something in response to what I said, and I'm like, damn, he's right. Like I have nothing
Yeah.
to say
Yeah.
because he's right.
They
You know,
tell
he's
you.
very valid in what he's saying and what he's doing. He's not telling me a lie. He's not, dismissing anything.
And-
he's right.
And I was shown, listen, I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I'm
Exactly.
the authority
That's not
figure.
okay.
That is okay
Exactly.
because that's how the world works.
No,
At
when you're right, you're right.
At least for black men,
If
that's how
I'm
the
going
world
to-
works. I'm sorry. At least for black men, that's how the world works.
Yeah, well-
I don't know because I go to work every day, and whether I'm right or wrong, I have to listen to my authority figure.
Me
because,
too.
Hey, dude,
too.
I'm the boss around here. I don't
Me
care
too.
if I'm right or wrong.
But
Me
what
too.
if the authority is doing something wrong? You're not allowed to call the authority out.
You're allowed to call it out in a different way, but you're not allowed to
But
call
I
it out on
don't
the spot.
think
No,
you needed
no.
to get
You-
beat
you-
to learn that lesson.
But that's what this
I think
society
you
does now.
have to
This
get
society is
pushed
saying,
into-
look, I don't care if I'm black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. I'm right, and this is my proof, and the world is going to see it, and they're going to know it because I'm going to speak up.
I think I'm talking to the wrong people.
No,
No, it's
no.
like, I
No, it's cool.
understand.
We
No, I get it.
we can move on.
It's a
'cause I don't think
generation.
Yeah, like
think
I
I'm talking to the wrong person.
understand
Generational-
what
yes.
you went
'Cause-
through.
'cause
But
the
we're
thing
not
is, it's
teaching.
like-
I'm not teaching my kid to be the same way.
Here's the
My
thing.
kid
Here's
is
the
going to
thing.
speak
Yeah.
up,
Here's the
and they're
thing.
going to say their truth, and they're going to say black, white, Hispanic. Because they're black and Hispanic. They're a minority. Period.
Right.
I'm not going to let them go through the same shit that everybody else has gone through.
Here's
Because why?
Here's the thing.
Everything has changed now.
Here's the
Everything
thing.
is so different now.
Here's the thing, because we have other black fathers
Because
that
you
are
were
on.
raised in the 90s.
No. We have other black
Right?
fathers that are on the pod
Yeah.
that I spoke about this before, and I just thought it was funny because I knew I was going to bring it up, but they all whoop their kids, and that's how they raise their
I
kids.
know.
and that's how my children's dad did too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no,
And there's benefits to it as a black man. There just is. As a black man, because here's the thing. My dad taught me two things. He taught me how to be a man, and he taught me how to be a black man in America. And there's not one other person in this room who could teach their kid how to be a black man in America.
but America then and America now is not the same.
But you still have to understand how to be a black man in America, or you will fail.
Yeah, but you need to understand how to be America now.
It's not
You can't
about
be
being
soft.
It's not the same.
You can't be a
Is it
soft
about-
little pussy ass little motherfucker in America.
I agree.
As a
I
black
agree.
man, you
You're-
can't.
you're
You
gonna-
can't be soft and cry and whine when things
No.
don't
Are
go
Are we
your
talking
way.
about
No.
being soft, or are we talking about respecting authority?
We're talking. That's both. It's the same.
Not-
It's in the
No.
same token.
No, it's
I'm not going to
not.
let
It
my
is.
children tolerate being handled any certain way either.
There's a way of working through that too.
Yeah, no.
Because there's plenty of dead black kids who just didn't respect authority enough and felt like they could just tell authority whatever they want.
No.
And that's where they ended up.
Right. So it's about teaching them.
Exactly. And that's how you teach them.
Without
No.
violence.
But you know.
I'm talking to the wrong people. It's fine. I'm talking to the wrong people.
No,
Let's move on.
it's America then and America now. You can't compare the same.
There's some black men
Have
who
a son.
beat their kids because
Have a son now.
their dads beat them.
Let's talk
but
about
we're
Gladiator.
saying that's not okay.
Let's talk about Gladiator.
That's
That's
it.
fine.
That's
Let's talk
it.
about Gladiator.
That's it.
I don't have to raise kids with any of you guys, so it's cool.
Period.
I'm whooping my kids. I'm whooping my
Pedro
kids.
Pascal.
No, not
Daddy.
Pedro. We're not
Like I
talking
said,
about
He don't
Pedro
whoop his
Pascal.
kids. kids.
We're talking about.
I
we're
pinch
talking,
my kids. Yes, I pinch them.
No, I got
but
that.
the
I got
big
that.
big consequences. You're not getting this. You're not getting that. Understand? If you're gonna do some dumb shit,
There's
then
consequences.
all the stuff that you appreciate and that you do day in day out is not gonna happen for you.
I feel you. We can skip sports because I don't know this.
Who's winning? Who won?
Let
Tyson.
me look it up real quick. Go past Aor's live. Shout out Aor. Aor. Let's see. Did you guys see Mike Tyson slap Jake Paul? And first off, he came out in his panties.
But I heard it.
Did you see him come out in his? Oh my god, he came out in his drawers.
I don't
It's all
really
publicity.
care about Jake Paul.
No one
But
really
I
does.
do want to say one thing. I know you keep trying to move the conversation along, but I don't think it's fair for you to be able to say your piece and not be willing to listen or open to other perspectives that you may not necessarily understand because you grew up a certain way and you believe and think a certain way.
It's kind of like somebody telling me how to make a pizza when I'm a chef and they're not. I'm black. I live that life. I understand. I understand how no one in this room is a black man in America, and no one in this room has faced the same adversities that I've had to grow up facing. And I understand how the world works. I understand what it's like to be passed up in positions because I'm black. I understand what it's like to have to look over my shoulder when I drive because I'm black. I understand the fear when a police officer approaches me because I'm black. No one else lives with that constant fear and with those adversities and those things in this room. So I understand that I'm not talking to a room full of my peers. So it's not really a conversation that I'm not talking to the right people.
I made a conscious decision to marry a black man and made a conscious decision to have children who both turned out to be boys with a black man. Both of my kids are half black, and it is very well known that they are mixed children. And I am very aware of the things that happen to black men in this world back then, recently, and what could happen in the future. And I care more about my children and knowing that they're half black and they're going to be treated in a certain way more than I care about anybody else in this world.
Yeah.
And I fear for them, and my heart beats for them more than any other person, especially as a black person. So I'm very aware of what they, despite the fact that I have not been through it myself,
Right.
what they can and will go through because of their
in the
thing.
same token, I wouldn't have a conversation with you guys about what it's like to go through your mental
So
because I can educate myself on it as much as possible.
As much
and
as-
probably
All we're
have
saying
a-
But
is that
I know
wrong.
I'm not all I'm saying is that you guys
You-
haven't
you-
lived it.
No,
You haven't lived
I haven't
with
lived
that
it.
fear.
But
so
the fear,
I can't
think about-
articulate it
think-
enough.
Think
to
about
the
the
importance
fear.
of it.
Do you have more fear for yourself or for your daughter?
Myself.
So you
My
don't
daughter's
have.
fine. She's
No,
fine.
no. Think about the fears that she can and will go through.
As her being, I have more fear. I have a fatherly fear for my daughter.
Yes.
But I don't. As far as like, who's the first to go if something has to happen?
No.
or
I'm
who-
not. No, I'm talking about in the situation that we're talking about.
I would say myself.
Because you're a black man,
Yeah.
and not because she's a half black woman,
Right. Yeah.
and the things that she would have to go through as a woman and as
Yeah.
African American.
Right. 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
I have more fear for myself because I understand that when it comes down to who's going to protect, when it comes down to who's going to take lead, when it comes down, she could marry a man and be fine, a white man and be fine.
I'm not talking about.
I know that she's in a position where she's going to be fine with her, even with her parents and her, or excuse me, with her.
Because you're talking about you just as a black man person, period.
Right.
Not
I fear
just about
for
like
myself and my life.
Not just talking about your surroundings, like
Right.
your.
In today's
your
economy,
family.
I fear for myself more than I would fear for my daughter. Yeah.
And that's not referring to her like having a husband.
No, but just in general, just
mother, like just being a black woman.
Yeah.
And being a woman, period, in this society.
I fear for
with
myself
trafficking,
more.
with being African American, with
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
You would still worry for
I know
yourself
that
more
I
than
am
her.
way more likelier to get into something that would end my life than she is. I understand that. Yeah. That's how I feel. And and that's because of
And that's your opinion.
I mean, and I get it. I get that women feel oppressed, women feel how they feel, and I can't tell
I think
you.
you could do a little bit of research and maybe have a different perspective when you see how often it actually happens.
I can understand a different perspective, but it's different when you live it.
So do you know that if you are trafficked, like you are more likely to escape because you're
A male.
a male?
I'm 6 foot 240.
Yeah.
There's probably no way I.
So like, and then
But-
if your daughter were, to
But
be
I'm more
trafficked,
likely.
like-
I'm more likely to be shot by a police officer than she is to be
No,
trafficked.
you're not. That's not true. Black women get shot by police officers.
No,
weekly.
I understand. I understand that. I'm saying, but as a black person, you're more likelier to be assaulted by the police than you are.
I think
Your
you
daughter's
are
black,
more
so
respected as a
she-
black
but I
male
don't
than
fear
she is
for
a black
her
female.
more as a black. And the thing is,
If she's getting approached by a white Caucasian or a white police officer who feels like they have more superiority over her as a male than a female.
And you also have to take into account the reason why I cape so much for harder discipline for young males is because we're just harder anyway. Like girls
But you don't have to be.
we
You don't have to
no,
be harder.
but it's instinctual. Boy, how often do your kids play fight?
All the time.
Right.
Girls play fight. I see it all the time.
I
on the
understand,
playground.
but grown
Girls
men
are fighting
but
boys.
grown men play
That's
fight.
why it's a different
Men,
generation.
it's just men are rougher than women. It is what it is.
No.
The last play date my kids had, my two sons had were with three sisters. And the
Yeah,
amount
girls
that
are
they
fucking
play fought
feral
and
nowadays.
and how
I
hardcore
don't know
them
where
girls
you've
were.
been.
I'm talking about as adults.
Girls don't take
And they were half
shit.
black and half white. Like they were hardcore.
I don't feel like I feel like the most unsafe person you can be in America is a black man.
I think it's a black woman.
Maybe you do.
Yeah.
But that's just
It's all perspective.
But when you go
That's
back,
your perspective,
But when
and
you
I
when you go
respect
back
that.
and you look at people shot by police, black men.
But we're talking about now.
Yeah,
and
no,
going
yeah,
back.
no. I'm not talking
There's
about going. I'm
two-
talking about. I'm going back. I'm not talking about going back to the 70s, 60s. I'm talking about going back 3-4 years. You're more likely to be shot and killed as a black man than anything else.
No, it's more likely to be broadcasted. Maybe.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, you can.
I mean,
that,
when
it's
you-
an opinion because you are a black man, and I respect that.
No, yeah,
And
yeah.
I totally.
And as a
I
black-
don't
like
disagree
I said, I
with
live
you.
it. If it's
Yes,
something that has to
but
do with being a woman, I'm not gonna
it's
argue.
still an opinion.
I'm not gonna argue you about anything that has to do with.
I still feel
with
like
being
you're-
trafficked
that's an
or
opinion.
being or a menstrual cycle or what you go through emotionally. I don't know it, so I can't tell
Yeah.
you how to feel. But I could tell you as a black man.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a young black boy, whoop that little nigga ass.
No.
Otherwise, you're doing a
I
man
don't
service.
need to though.
Otherwise,
My
otherwise he's
son
gonna grow up.
knows how to
Otherwise, he's gonna
respect
grow up
authority.
soft, and
It's
he's
not soft.
and
My
he's gonna
kids
get run
aren't
over by
soft.
the world.
My half black son just knows how to respect authority.
My kids are not
the thing
soft.
is, that's the thing is that it's cool because
And I didn't
know
need to
how I
beat him
raised
to do that.
I know how I raised mine, and I don't have to worry about raising anybody else's. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna contest how someone else raises their kids. I don't care because when I have a black son,
That's good.
that's how I'm going to raise my son.
Yeah.
But I don't have to worry about how anybody else do that. I don't really care. But I understand that if I'm raising a black kid, a black son, I'm doing
Just
him in
because of how
service.
you
I'm doing it
guys-
just because of how my life has been, what society and what life has taught me, what I go through on a daily basis, driving through to get to work, to come
I
home,
get it.
to do those things, to work,
But
every day. That's
no, okay.
I
One question.
understand.
One question though. How does hitting and using that physical force over communication
Yeah.
build that on you?
I
Because it
never
taught
had
me-
to beat
because
my
it taught
son
me
to
that
respect me.
Sure. Because
Me too.
Sure. And that's fine. I understand. And it's coming from women. That's fine. I'm telling you about the relationship between a black father and a black son.
And
I'm not in a room talking to a black father and a black son. I'm like, what I'm saying is that I'm not having a conversation with my peers, so it doesn't really matter.
But black
No,
men
but
need
I've-
to
no.
know that they don't need to invoke violence.
Quite frankly,
no.
I'm not going to let a white woman or Hispanic woman
No,
tell
but
me
I've
how to raise my black
Had
son.
conversations
have
with their
black
father.
sons.
I've had conversations
Sure,
with their father.
but you've never lived a day in the
I've
life
had
of a black man.
conversations with their father he's a few years older than you, and express all of this to you or to him about my children, and he's gone through what he's gone through, which has been more than you, and he's agreed with me. That doesn't need to be the consequence.
I can tell you this
that doesn't
much.
need to be the way to teach them the way to act and to behave and to understand what the consequence is going to be for them to be skilled and grown and smart. And
I can tell you plenty of things that I just agreed to because I was in a relationship and I had a kid with someone. There's plenty of things. My daughter's mom is a Republican.
Okay, but that's
I don't think that my daughter should be a Republican, but I just let it rock because that's fine.
That's fine. But that's you. But I'm telling you because I know that he wouldn't say it to me if he didn't feel that way. He would speak up and say, "No, I disagree with you. I feel like this needs to be X, Y, Z."
Sure, but I don't feel like I feel
but
like
that's your opinion.
Okay,
but that's your opinion,
right?
And I'm coming to you with an opinion of another black man,
and I respect
and the same thing.
And I respect it. I just don't feel the same.
Understood the fact that no, you don't need to use violence in a form of discipline to teach your kids.
That's
right and wrong.
Only point we're trying to make.
I respect it, but I don't feel the same, and I don't feel like
I'm
not having a conversation with my peers.
Okay, that's fine, but you don't need to say that's every black man in your
If we had
age
the other
range.
black men and the other black men,
I
in the
just
room,
said like there was
then
another
it would
black
be a
man.
different-
I'm not gonna lie about this.
do you want to call one? We can call one.
I can. I'm not gonna call him.
I mean,
So what do you
talk
want
to
me to
him,
do? Call
but-
my baby daddy and say,
No,
do we need
'cause-
to
'cause no, we
invoke
don't need to do-
violence
what
on
I- what
our
I'm- what I'm
son
saying is
to
that-
get him to respect authority?
What I'm saying is that
you don't.
is that what I'm saying is that
you are-
I had
women
the
can
conversation.
prove it to you.
I mean, it's kind of like I said, you know,
You're not.
hey,
You're not speaking for every black man. Okay, you're speaking for
I
yourself.
I can.
You
But
can't.
I just said
I
you're
can.
not.
Just like
I
I
just
can't
said you're
speak for
not.
every
We
white
don't-
woman.
It's fine. Like I said, we can move on.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can
We
move
can
on
move on.
because
I can't
you're
speak for
very,
Gladiator
very
2.
difficult.
Gladiator 2.
Pedro Pascal. What about him?
No.
That's all
Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington.
So I saw that he said like in the past, what is it, like 30, 40 years, he hasn't even had to
audition
audition
anymore?
for
They
any
just
roles.
ask
Like
him.
he
Isn't
just
that
gets them.
Can you imagine just like I never have to audition ever again?
That'd be nuts.
But he said that it was because he got an Academy Award in like the 80s. And
For what?
I can't remember the name of the movie, but I know the movie.
was.
I know what the movie was. I saw it. It was funny because he was like very skinny and had a mustache and hair. It's like Denzel Washington with a mustache and hair and skinny is weird. But he got an Academy Award in 1988, and he said he hasn't had to audition ever since.
That's nuts.
That's fucking baller.
Yeah.
He
real.
also said that he's got maybe a couple more years and he's gonna retire. No more Denzel, which makes sense. He's in his 60s.
Yeah. But I don't think he's gonna retire.
He did clear. He cleared it up and he said he said he was gonna retire, and then afterwards he said that I'm just not taking roles that don't serve me.
Right. I was gonna say like that's a goal to
Yeah.
like retire, but like if
Yeah.
stuff falls into his lap, like, oh, that sounds like a good movie.
That's
I'm
a
gonna do
free
it. Yeah.
$3-4 million.
Yeah, like I
you
don't
know?
think he will reject it.
Yeah, like why not?
But that's
Did you
wild.
guys see the first Gladiator?
Yeah.
Yes. That was like what, 25
What
years ago?
That's
almost?
crazy.
What do
It
you
was like
guys
2000.
watch? I'm curious. What do you guys watch? Like
Not Gladiator.
What? Yeah. Like what did you guys watch?
I mean,
Clueless.
I love older
Mean
movies,
Girls.
and I think about them. But I don't know why it's so hard for me to rewatch older movies. But my genre of stuff that I love, like, is all over the place. Like, I love Disney movies. I love movies. I'm really big into horror thriller movies. I love superhero movies. Like, I'm all over the place with Marvel and DC, and
What does Erica watch? I'm curious.
I can't wait to see Moana too.
Not to cut
I'm not
you
talking
off.
about Gladiator.
You just been quiet. I've been wondering, like, what do you watch at home? Like when you curl up in a ball, what do you watch? I can understand what you watch, Alana. You got kids.
I'm
You've been
just all
around the
over the
block.
place.
But
All
what
over the
does
place.
what does a 25 for?
24.
What does a 24-year-old woman watch?
Single woman.
Ever since I was younger, I've always loved watching true crime shows, whether that be documentaries or fiction, like Criminal Minds and Law and Order and all those kinds of shows. Lately, I've been rewatching 911, which is about firefighters, and it makes me cry sometimes. But it's good. It's a good cry.
Do you watch like the Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and all that stuff? Because it's like
I
close to
haven't-
home.
I haven't seen them.
None?
No.
Just curious.
What else? I like love movies too. Every now and then I'll watch a reality show, but for the most part,
What's the last movie in the theater you've seen?
Deadpool, the new Deadpool movie.
Same.
Wolverine
Same.
and Deadpool.
I fell asleep.
I love a good movie theater nap.
It was an accident, but then I went back the next day and I saw it.
So the movie before that, what was the one that you didn't fall asleep to? How do you fall asleep? You're 24.
It was an accident.
Yeah, that is wild. I didn't start doing that till
I was on a
like.
couch with a blanket. Like,
Did you go to the
nice
Emacs?
couches? Yeah.
Shout out to the Emacs, P-Town, Indiana.
No, and I was
my hometown.
I was a little sauced up in the movie theater.
Yeah,
so
because you can't. They deliver your drinks there. That's how you fall asleep.
I went back the next day.
And you can get like pizza,
I actually watched
nachos. Like you're at home at that point.
Okay, so the movie before then, which one did you see? That you didn't fall asleep.
The last movie I saw in the theater was called My Old Ass. And it's actually on Amazon Prime and it is so good. Audrey Plaza.
Love her.
So
I've heard
good.
about that.
So good. And the next movie I'm gonna see is Wicked.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see Moana too
When does that come out? Because I'm also
around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh, the movie that I saw before, I just remembered it, was Inside Out 2. In the theater.
That's awesome. There you go. That's what 24-year-olds are watching.
That's what you guys are into. I've sworn off of movie theaters. I'll never step into another movie theater again. I don't like the experience.
Why?
It's not my jam. I don't like going. I don't like the smell of. I worked in a dealership for a long time, and they just made popcorn all the time, and the smell of popcorn makes me nauseated.
What about if your daughter wants to go to the movie theater?
Only for my daughter, her and her only. Like my daughter, and it's funny. She can't sit through a movie, but she'll act like she can. Mm-hmm. We went to the Taylor Swift movie, and halfway through it, she's like, "Daddy, I'm bored." And I'm like, "Let's go, baby. We ain't gotta do this. we ain't gotta sit through this." So if my daughter wants, I'm a suck. Anything my daughter wants, she gets. It's so funny. That's the light of my life. But
I feel like all the movies I've been to in the theater for like even some years now have all just been movies for my kids to see.
Right.
And I enjoy them just as much. But any movie that I like, I really want to see, like horror movies or more stuff that they can't watch. Like I found a way to stream it at home, and I just watch it at home.
I didn't know I enjoyed horror movies so much.
No, I love a good horror movie in the theater. It's 10 times scarier
but
because
they're
the
not
jump
that
scare.
I can
good
only watch a
anymore.
horror movie at
They're
home.
not. They're not.
I can
that
only watch a
good.
horror movie at home.
I would love
with
to
the,
watch it in the
with the
theater.
backlight on.
No, I
I love horror movies.
love horror movies and I love
don't
seeing
like-
them in the theater.
I don't
It's
like
so much
gory
scarier.
movies where like
Yeah.
they're just killing everybody and there's just
Yeah, like a
blood
slasher
everywhere.
film. No.
But
I like psychological.
yes,
You like
Yeah.
the Purge
Demon.
movies?
no.
I do like
I've
Purge.
never
Gory.
seen.
I don't even like horror movies.
Like give me
Never
the,
really have,
like,
but that's because I'm a scaredy cat. But I do like the
Like
Purge
I
movies.
just watched Smile and that shit was scary.
Smile.
Oh no!
So scary, and I want to see the second one so bad.
Ew.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I watched it at home. It was good.
so good.
I seen the trailer, and that does not sound like a good experience.
Creepy, scary. Love it.
There was good movies.
Like just stress me out and give me nightmares.
Yes, I want to jump. I want to be
wanna
scared.
be
I
on
want
edge.
to like yes, be on edge. Like when it's gonna happen next.
The type of shows that I like to watch would actually surprise you. My favorite genre of shows that I could watch day in, day out, nonstop are shows with women presidents or women government authorities.
That is a very big shock.
Very.
Why though? Why? Like what about them that like just keeps you tuned in?
I like strong women. I like women who take charge. I like women, and then also, I have bully trauma.
For women?
Yeah, every woman that I've dated has been a bully to me, and
I wonder why.
yeah, it's a thing. It has to do with like my first ex and how that relationship went, and it kind of is like a overcoming validation or something. But I do enjoy other men getting beat up by women. It's just funny to me. But I love those
It's a
shows.
simple pleasure.
I love those shows. And then I think the last one was I watched Madam Secretary, which was phenomenal.
Where's that on?
Netflix. Netflix has all the women shows. There's
Well,
one
I've
show
heard
with
of Veep.
I've not heard of Veep.
I was told to watch Veep. It's like that was in like the 2000s, early 2000s. I think it was like 5 seasons, and it was about like, I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was, I think like about a woman.
I'm gonna have to look up
Yeah,
Veep.
yeah. I don't know like the exact details, but Veep was the name. No, I don't
I've heard
know
of
where.
that one, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think it was kind of like a dramedy, like funny, but also drama. I
there's-
loved what was the one with Kerry Washington? I know she was.
That's like the
president, but
one
she
I was
big
thinking
in
about.
a
Like when
president.
you said that.
Yeah.
Carrie-
Scandal. Love
good.
me some Scandal.
I did,
I
but-
love a Shonda Rhimes.
I crack up at Kerry Washington and like
I
her
know.
faces and
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
that she reacts.
Yeah, her mouth.
And I think
She's
about
a mouth
him.
actor
Yeah.
for sure. But I still loved it. I think the
Think about
last
you responding to Kerry Washington
Yeah.
and her like dramatic monologues. That show.
I was just thinking of like president shows that I've seen, and that's about it.
Is Scandal one of the ones?
What's the president? I haven't seen Scandal yet, and I got to get started.
What?
but I've been waiting because it's such a big show that
Yeah.
I want to binge watch it.
I want to know.
But I fell off on the
see.
last season. It kind of.
Because it's over with now, isn't it?
No, I know, but the last season just.
Okay, yeah.
Didn't
I
hit.
Oh,
finished it.
the one that I
Yeah.
just finished, and it's like in a mid-season type thing, is The Diplomat with Kerry Russell. Oh my God, so good.
Carrie
I like that show.
Russell.
I've
Such
seen
a
that one.
good show. Such a good show. And then
Who's Kerry
there's
Russell?
Kerry Russell. I mean,
It's on the tip of my.
you'll just look up
I
the
know.
you'll
I just
know.
need
You'll
a
know when you see it.
face.
And then Madam Secretary.
There's a
That
lot of
one
them.
is with. Let me look it up.
I can't remember her name. Yeah, that's a.
What about The Crown? Did anyone watch The
Tia
Crown?
Leone. Tia Leone. She's yeah. And then there's another show with Kevin Spacey.
Oh, Felicity.
Let me see if I can find that.
Have you guys ever
House of Cards.
who Kerry
House of Cards is
Russell
also good. With I believe I can't remember her name, but the wife in House of Cards, she becomes, well, I can't spoil it, but if you watch House of Cards, it's like a really good show. And I love a good woman president, good woman diplomat, good woman in government, just telling motherfuckers what to do. It's just great for me.
They said Jake Paul wins by unanimous decision.
I just got a text message.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Now, first off, let's
I was just
I gotta
wanting him
watch
to get
that.
they're all
knocked out.
they're all
whatever.
rigged. They're
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
also
I knew.
they do have clauses in their
course.
contracts to where they can't really hit that hard.
So what? They were like, you're not gonna get punched, but you're gonna have to lose. It's gonna be my unanimous.
It's
so
it's an exhibition, and
I want to know how much money was awarded.
for Mike Tyson to
Yeah.
do this with the medical
Yeah.
I would love to know. What do you think?
millions.
How
you know
many
what's funny?
millions?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I want to show you who the real Mike Tyson
No, I know
is.
who the real Mike Tyson
No.
is.
I'm gonna play something for you guys because
Did you see the interview he did with that child?
that's what I'm about to. Oh my God, that's what I'm about to play. That's what-
Okay. Because I was like, oh, did he
For
forget?
this fight, you are setting a monumental opportunity for kids my age to see the legend Mike
Her
Tyson
age
in the
of
ring for the
a
first
ripe
time.
11
So after
years
such a
old.
successful career, what type of legacy would you like to leave behind when it's all said and done?
Well, I don't know. I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think that's another word for ego. Legacy doesn't mean nothing. That's just some word everybody grabbed onto. Someone said that word and everyone grabbed on the word, so now it's used every 5 seconds. It means absolutely nothing to
He's
me. I'm
tired.
just passing through. I'm going to die, and it's going to be over. Who cares about a legacy after that?
Did you
She
see
was-
the
she
guy?
was so
It's a big
stunned.
ego, so I'm going to die. I want people to think that I'm this, I'm great. No, we're nothing. We're just dead. We're dust. We're
She
absolutely
was
nothing.
so lost.
She went to
Our legacy
therapy.
is nothing.
My legacy is nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That is something that I have.
She's like, well, thank you so much for
That's something
guess.
I've never thought about before.
Yeah.
She
That was incredibly dark.
incredibly dark.
Yeah, Mike Tyson. But he I mean,
Are we
he's
surprised,
right.
though?
No, and the
I
thing
will
is
eat
like
you.
when Mike Tyson
Come
gets
on.
into fight mode,
But I feel like
he's
that's
a
like
different human being.
savage for him. Like
Yes.
he's a straight savage. Like
Yes.
he he doesn't give a
sit.
Thank you. That was great. That was great. A shit. I don't give a shit about any of you motherfuckers. Oh, that's great.
He does not give a shit. Exactly. And it was a 12-year-old girl. She like never thought of it. Her eyes opened.
Yeah, he opened her third eye, and she's
her third eye is wide open.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Life sucks, then you die. Thanks, Mike Tyson.
He's like, what fucking legacy?
You die and that's it.
But
you're dead.
That's when you know, like, someone.
That's it. You're dead. What legacy? Legacy is a word that somebody made up one time and then everybody ran with it.
For real. He ain't wrong, though.
He's not, but just let her have some fucking hope.
Yeah. But besides the point, like, I just wanted him to knock him out, and I'm disappointed with you, Mike Tyson.
Everybody wants to knock out Jake Paul.
I want to knock out Jake Paul.
And they fake drink Prime every video that they're in. They don't even, there's nothing in the can. Just fake drinking drinks, whatever. I'm over it.
You win stupid games.
So our next segment, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
So you play stupid games, win stupid prizes is that I let 4 13-year-olds stay the night at my house, and the cops got called because some of them went ding-dong ditching, and the person they ding-dong ditched was not fucking playing around and ran out his house. I think he was pretending like he had a gun to scare them.
He 100% had a gun.
Oh, he had a gun.
100% had a gun.
Steven was there because I called you for help. I was like, phone a friend. I need someone here with me to tame the children and be here because my women intuition was just like calling for help. But
so the little niggas come in running in the house and they're like, oh my God, we're gonna die.
I'm playing Uno with my 5-year-old.
And oh my God, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. Someone's chasing us with a gun. And then automatically, you gave me the face that said, save our family.
I said, excuse me?
You gave me the face that said, save us. And I immediately said,
I became a beggar.
And yes, you
an old lady.
Do you know the neighbor or the person?
No.
I live in a complex. Huge complex. So like a couple blocks. Like there's like hundreds. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's a huge complex. So there's lots of people that like I would never even see, or you'll see once and never see them again. Mm-hmm. You know, like my next door neighbor, I've seen her one time.
So first floor, patio door. You can see out to the parking lot, the pool, everything, right? So the kids come, there were 5 kids that left the house.
Yeah.
5 kids left the house. 2 of them came rushing back in.
One being my child.
And the other one being the youngest of the kids. He had to be like 8. He was with his older brother. They come running in and they're like, oh my God, we're going to die. 8. We're going to die.
He was like 11. Not that it matters, but that's hilarious.
Oh my God, we're going to die. We're going to die. He's chasing us with a gun. I immediately look out. And
immediately. No, it wasn't immediately. I like jumped up and I'm like, what the fuck do we do? What the fuck? And then
I look out.
I was like, look out the window. And he's looking.
I see someone with something in their hand that looks like a gun.
With like behind his back. But I didn't.
No, not even behind his back. In his hand. In his hand.
Okay.
I'm sure the guy had a gun. Right?
Okay. So I'm like,
so she gives me the look that says, "Please save my family,
handle
sir.
the situation,
handle it." I said, "Call the police, call the police, call the police."
Children to go like in a room because they were just like out in the open. We're in front of a sliding glass door with a man holding a gun.
And just to give you guys what I was thinking about, I seen someone when I was 8. I saw someone get shot in the head and killed. So I've seen this. So I said, "Oh, he's gonna start shooting in the house. We're dead." We're all dead.
We're just all standing by the window.
We're all standing by the window. We're dead. So I immediately say, call the police, call the police, call the police. She hands me her phone. I don't know why I didn't want to call the police with my phone, but the nigga in me was like, don't use your phone.
So you have like 3 phones on you at all times?
Yeah. But I would not use any one of my 5 phones to call the police.
I said, where the fuck is my phone?
Yeah, so we're looking for a phone, and we find her phone, and we call the police. So I'm talking to the officers. I'm talking to the dispatcher, telling them what's going on. So police show up, right? When the police,
4 of them.
4 of them.
Yeah.
And I see them. They couldn't find us at first, but then they found us. So I see them, and they come up, and then I'm talking to them. Mind you, I took an edible probably about an hour prior because, whatever, cut that off. But I'm talking to them, and I'm telling them what's going on. And then I see someone in the corner of my eye walk around the building and go inside. And then they come back out, and then they come by the pool. My theory in my head was he did have a gun.
He went and put it back.
He wouldn't put it back. And
Yeah,
then
because he did go away. We didn't see him.
But I saw him go into the other building.
And I
and
haven't
then
even
come back
seen
out.
this man at the point. I'm trying to calm the children because I had a 5-year-old and a 13-year-old and
they're in the room.
11-year-old. And I'm like,
They're
go in the room.
Like, I'm gonna die.
Crying.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. They're repeating it over and over. They truly believe they saw what I saw. I saw a gun.
And I'm like, where are the other children? They made their way to there's a restaurant. I live close to
they
what would you call that? A complex?
They bounced.
The other kids left.
They
that
bounced.
were sleeping over. That
Yes,
were supposed to be sleeping
they
over.
went
Then they were the ones who ding dong ditched.
Yeah, and they were the ones who did it, and then ran to a restaurant that was a block away because it's in a complex.
Right. And so
So I'm like, okay, they're cool. Keep them there.
Stay. And I told her son, call them, tell him to stay there because he's floating around. So the guy comes back towards the police officers, right? And he's walking towards. Am I missing something?
No. Let me. So we see the cops come. So we're like, all right, let's go talk to them. And then we're on the patio porch, right? That kind of it's a more vulnerable spot rather than in my house and seeing the guy from a distance. We're out on the porch, where the grass is in the common area. And there's a complex over there, a dog park, and then my complex. And so we're on the back patio and 3 of the cops come up. And we're just explaining the situation. I was like, I didn't see it. This is my house. My son's having a birthday party. We think that they knocked on the guy's door and he came out to scare them. And then they were like, okay. And then all of a sudden a cop, this is my point of view, a cop turns and I'm like, oh shit, what's he looking at? And a guy wobbling with something behind his back and the cops all start almost drawing their guns.
I saw their guns.
So I'm like,
I saw their guns drawn.
So I'm like, get the fuck inside. I'm
we run in the
so
house.
High.
We all run in the house.
Slam the door shut, locked it.
I saw 3 police officers draw their guns and point their guns at him.
Because the guy
hey,
was
stop.
aggressively walking towards us with his hand behind his back. So that's the first time I ever even saw him because I couldn't see because I was making him look.
In my head, I thought I'm about to witness someone get shot by the police right now. And maybe I was a little high.
No, I thought it too, and I wasn't.
But he sincerely and when I first saw him,
black man.
And when I first saw him, he had a gun in his hand. I know he did. I saw it. And so when they came up, I'm like, this motherfucker doesn't care. He's just gonna kill us anyway. They're gonna have to kill him so that he doesn't kill us. He's that mad. And so they draw their guns, and then we just wait.
Yeah, I was
we run in the house and we just wait by.
And it was a good 15 minutes.
It was a good 15 minutes that we just waited.
And I'm I don't even know. I
the
blacked
whole time
out.
we don't know if he's dead or alive.
Yeah.
We didn't hear
any.
We didn't hear any
anything.
gunshots.
So I was okay.
So then what happened?
Well, we saw the police officers laughing.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, they're laughing. That's a good sign. No one's dead.
Yeah.
And then at one point the police officers came back over and they were like, so one of the kids ding dong ditched. He wasn't a big fan of that. And he was so upset and and he was just mad.
And I was like, I thought that happened and we're sending them home.
He was
now.
like, he didn't have a weapon. So, okay, so here's the aftermath, right? So I tell her son, I said, at first I was like, they can't come back. And he was like, the kids was like, no, her son was like, they don't have a place to go.
Yeah, they were
where
all
they
saying
go?
we're gonna get beat and we can't
play
go
stupid
home.
games, win stupid prizes.
But you know what they did instead of getting beat? They lied to their parents and didn't tell them that they were here. They just went to another kid's house.
So they come in the house, right? And the three culprits come in the house, and there's a tall white kid, there's a short white kid, and a black kid. And immediately when they come in the house, the tall white kid goes, and they walk in, and I go, stop. And they stop because, of course, I'm mean daddy. And they go, we're sorry we ding dong ditched. We know that. I'm like, well, you guys understand that you fucked up, right? And they're like, yeah, we understand. I'm
Immediately
like,
started apologizing.
I'm like, well, now you fucked up the situation because now she's got neighbors who are mad at her. And who knows what's going to fuck up the situation. The cop said that he was trying
to run to see who was doing it so he could write a report.
Right.
So I'm like, now I'm going to get written up or whatever. And
right. And so, and I was like, you fucked up the situation? I said, so you motherfuckers got to go. And they were like, So they go into the room and they're having a little conference about whose house they're going to go.
Yeah.
I walk in and they're in like at a little fucking round table. The younger kid's got his hand on his head, just like
all the while I'm
frantic.
trying to keep my 5-year-old calm and like playing Uno. We were playing Connect 4.
Yeah. And so I go in there and I'm like, y'all got to figure it out. And they're like, and then they point to the black kid and they're like, we're going to go over to his house. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I was like, well, I said, you guys got 10 minutes, pack up your shit and go. So about 7 minutes go by and her son comes back out and he's like, they said they can't go, they can't leave because his mom's not home and this and that. And I'm like, all right, cool. I said, well, here's what we're going to do. They can stay. But before they stay, I want all the numbers to all their parents. All of them.
Fair.
They wouldn't give it.
And then 2 minutes later, I see them all walking out of the door. They just left.
Moving forward.
No. The funniest part was when the older kids were leaving.
No, but I felt
the youngest kid, he had to be like 9.
I was like, honey, you can stay.
He was crying. He was like, it's
like
10 o'clock at night. It's
it was
10 o'clock
his
at night.
like
he's
first
just like,
sleepover too. That was like the saddest part of it all. And I felt so bad for him because he's like, I didn't even do anything. He was the one that ran in.
And they just like walked 45 minutes away in the middle of the night.
They actually did end up going to that kid's house.
Rather than telling their parents what happened, they decided to just
play
fucking
stupid
wing
games.
it.
You win stupid prizes.
Consequences.
So
hey, them niggas need they ass beat. That's what they need.
They learned their lesson, I'm sure.
And my son was playing a game with one of them. I was like, oh, they're going to they stop ding dong ditching? And he was like, I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again, Brittany, Miss Brittany.
Yeah.
But they learned they learn the consequence, and now she can joke about it, but they're still traumatized by it enough to
my
not
son
do it again.
was crying.
Oh,
like,
I
thought we were going to die. I thought, and he says he wasn't the one, because I've told him enough, like, we can get kicked out, don't fuck around. And I trust him because we have a relationship.
I tell them,
safe.
I tell my kids, you're going to get more trouble if I find out you lie to me, then.
And that's what he was saying. He was like, I told him. I said, you might as well just tell your parents the truth.
Yeah.
I've never seen this kid be this righteous
They
before.
wouldn't do it, Mom. They just wouldn't tell them. Why wouldn't they just call their parents? Why wouldn't they just call?
But that let me know that he's a good fucking kid.
Yeah.
You got a good
He's
kid.
smart.
You got a really good kid. But
Smart decisions.
it was the funniest thing though of the whole night.
Seriously crying, and I felt so bad because he was like, it was his
'Cause you're the
birthday,
mom.
and he's
You're the
like, I
mom.
just wanted to have a fun night with my friends and just
Lesson
play, and
learned
they
next
wanted
year.
to go ding dong ditch, and so I'm like, all right, we're
The
we're
funniest part
having
though
four
was when
kids over.
when they first blast through the door saying someone's gonna kill them and they have a gun.
I know, and what's fucked up is I was like, you're joking, like
Right.
you're playing a trick on me, like you're joking.
And then when the panic first set in, the save my family look that Brittany gave me.
I don't know what
Save
like
us.
put it out. I don't know when I realized it was like serious. And then what really fucked me up was then when you started freaking out because you saw the guy. So I'm
at
like,
first I was
oh
like,
fuck, this is real.
once
Like
I
we're
did
not
see the
getting
guy-
pranked. This is fucking real. And then I saw it.
I peed a little. I'm not gonna lie, because I've seen someone be murdered in real life.
I have not.
I'm like, okay, this is it. This
It's
is
all
where
so
happening
maybe it
so
was
fast.
my turn.
he's gonna run in here, and before the police can get here, he's
that's
gonna
what I
shoot
was
and
nervous.
kill us all.
I was nervous he was gonna run in the house and shoot and kill us
I
all.
was convinced.
Yeah.
I was because I saw the gun. I saw it. He was
You saw more than I.
Oh, thank God I did, because
Yeah.
you wouldn't be the same.
That's a story.
I'm still not the same. I'm scared.
I think my play stupid games win stupid prizes isn't as good, but we're at 2 hours and 20 minutes, so we can skip over it. Yeah. Before we get out of here, any good music you guys been listening to lately? You guys want to shout anybody out?
I know there's been like 3 or 4 new not artists, but like albums that came out, but I haven't listened to them yet.
Chapel Roan.
Hey,
Rise
so
and Fall of a Midwest
There's been,
Princess.
like,
I have a
there's
lot of recording equipment. Can any of you guys sing?
No.
No?
But so last night at a place, Bourbon Street in Chicago, they have a thing like it's their own version of American Idol going on right now. And it started off with 19 people and they're down to 12. And actually my uncle's stepdaughter is one of the contestants right now and she's in it.
What's her name?
Marwa
All right.
at Bourbon Street.
Good luck.
If you find a link, we'll put it in the.
Does she do it every
To
week?
support her.
Every Thursday they've been doing it so far and they eliminate 1 or 2 people every week. So she found out
How
today
fun.
if she got eliminated or not, which I don't think she got eliminated at all whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Next week they have 2 songs they have to sing. One is a Michael Jackson and then another one is a Taylor Swift.
Oh my God, I would crush that.
What Taylor Swift song?
They get to pick whichever one they want to do.
What is she
What,
gonna
Michael
pick?
Jackson song?
Michael Jackson
Excuse me?
and Taylor Swift. They have to do one of each.
I would
that
love
week.
that.
Of each.
So yeah,
Oh my God, I would
we
crush
went and after they do their competition, it ends like at 10 p.m. and then they have karaoke. And I was with a girlfriend. I brought my girlfriend with me.
There's karaoke right down the road.
I know. She wanted to do it, and
And
we kept going back and forth, and we're gonna do the song. And I finally came up and like jokingly, we're like, we're gonna do To the Window, to the Wall.
Oh yeah.
And we were just joking, and we were like, she was trying to hype us up to do it.
What's your favorite karaoke
But
song?
wait, tell me why? Like 10 minutes later,
Someone did that song.
a black girl and a white girl get on the stage and they do that song.
Oh no.
And we're like, they were ear hustling us. They heard it all. Like that was our moment to like be silly because neither one of us can sing, but we wanted to get up there and like put on the entertainment because everybody else was just like a lot of people that were doing the karaoke were the people that got dismissed on the other previous
they were
ones.
good.
But everybody
Yeah.
was doing just like slow songs
Yeah,
and
I
love
know.
songs
Yeah,
and
like,
boring songs. Like
we
we
had
just need to
fun.
hype up the crowd.
Me and my
like, do
niece just
some.
did karaoke and we did Jolene. It was so fun. Me and
love
Steve
karaoke.
have done karaoke and we did Lovers and Friends.
Mhm,
I
by
can't.
by
That
Lil
was
Jon and
fun.
Eastside Boys and Usher.
Yeah, and we
That
also
was-
did
that
The
was the
Boy
most-
Is Mine
We did The Boy Is Mine.
with Monica and Brandy.
That was the most epic karaoke I ever did. We did it. We were in Arizona.
Didn't I do Lil Jon?
Yeah. She did Lil Jon. I did Usher.
I need to be intoxicated.
Oh,
I need
oh,
that.
yeah, we were drunk.
I was absolutely
But we
intoxicated.
crushed it.
Crushed it.
We crushed it. What's your favorite karaoke
Yeah.
song?
I actually did karaoke yesterday.
Ooh.
song.
Santeria. And then I also sang a Mike Posner song.
Ooh.
I can't
I
sing.
love a
think you're
good Mike
cooler than
Posner
me?
song.
Please don't go.
Please don't go. Even better.
He's written so many good songs that weren't his songs. Justin Bieber songs, Usher songs. Shout out Mike Posner.
yeah,
also
Mike
love
Not that he
Posner.
listens to this podcast, but
Amy Winehouse, love singing. I've sung
Adele,
Rehab
she's
a couple
good.
times
oh my God, I love Amy
can't
for
Winehouse.
sing.
karaoke.
Good one. No, I can't sing either, but I will.
I can't sing. I need.
Sing.
I need the alcohol first.
Give me that liquid courage.
Liquid
I'm
courage, yes.
going
Give me the liquid
in,
courage.
baby.
It's hard to sing in front of people without it.
I
but
just like learn to not care. Like
like
they're not
singing.
there.
by myself.
Yeah. I told him like we should karaoke with
We'll have to
these
record it.
mics.
Or
We're gonna
record it.
karaoke tonight when you
Yes.
guys leave.
Yes, I told
Yeah.
him. Now that there's no boys here, like
There's
we can
a-
do whatever we
There's
want.
a video
Hell
of
yeah.
us like throwing a little
Barbie's
concert.
your house.
Yeah, because when
Oh
when,
yeah,
when
I
no one's
did
here,
Taylor's version all too well.
when no one's here, we turn all the lights blue and we karaoke.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
That's
and,
awesome.
and we record it, and it's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Play it back. I have a video of myself karaokeing by myself, just throwing myself a concert.
You did it by yourself?
Remember the video I showed you of me performing? I will never do it again. It was
Yeah, what were you performing? I know.
a Music Soul Child song because I just look crazy.
Oh, music
That's
soul
okay.
child. I like his
I
music.
looked absolutely crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
But
We
yes,
had time.
Marwa, we want you to win. She'll win $10,000
Oof.
if she wins that competition.
Ooh.
Do we vote? Are there votes from the out?
You have
gotta
to
be
go there. You have to be
Ah,
there.
okay.
You have to be there.
Okay. All right. Shout out her. But we'll go ahead and get out of here. This was a good pod. I enjoyed you, lady. Well, that
Can
sounds
you
wild.
play?
That sounds crazy. I
was
can only
gonna
play
say, you should
original
play-
music.
You can't play Beyonce.
I can't. I would love to play Lemonade.
So this is you.
technically. I can, because remember I found like 100 of my own original songs. Like this beat, I actually made this beat. But yeah.
Okay.
But I can't play any other
It
music.
is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Thank you guys for tuning in with us.
This is the longest podcast you've had.
No.
Get three girls
I think
together and
I think I did 3 hours one time, but
Yep, sesh.
yep, Sash. Listen, yeah.
You ever last this long with 3 girls?
I don't know. Ask Brittany.
How would I know?
And
Mr.
Good night.
Never Night.
Good night.
Nah.
3 girls though?
I think the most was 4 girls in a row.
Did he party?
Oh, it was wet. It was wet. It was a lot of
Slippery.
fluids.
Ew.
That made me get in trouble like Ray J.
Apologizing.
Yeah, apologizing.
Brittany.
They're gonna kill me. Well, no, Britt wasn't there. This is man, my 20 to 25. Oh my god, it was fucking. Arizona was wild, bro. Arizona was so fucking.
It wasn't dry for you.
No, was not dry. Blah. This is a family broadcast.
Lies.
we did have a
man.
baby watching.
Oh yeah.
We do. Was the baby still watching?
Oh,
The baby's
Log
gone.
out a while ago.
The baby's
I hope.
gone.
Thank
No.
God.
And he has such like he brought his baby up today to the job, and just oh my god, I have baby fever
Baby
so
fever.
bad. Oh, it's unreal. It's unreal. I need a little
It's
nigga.
no joke. It's no joke.
I need one.
My baby fever is fulfilled every day with my job.
Yeah.
And then you actually have one though, and
yeah.
you're like, what the fuck?
I want those sleepless nights.
You can have them.
Yeah.
You can have them.
Could never be me.
I'm done. I want to give them back now.
Yeah. Like, you're so cute.
Here's your mama.
Fuck them kids. I'm just kidding. I love you all. I'm a good teacher, okay?
Thank you. It was a vibe. It was real. This is the panel. They call me Swill. You guys take care, and we shall see you very soon.
No Olympics, how we do it, shouting out Cal